Hello, 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 my beautiful, beautiful motherfuckers. How are we doing this fine evening slash afternoon slash morning? I am joining you straight from the greatest peninsula that the world has ever seen. The land of the Balkanoid, the land of the drink, the land of the Thursday equals Friday. How are we doing, you beautiful, beautiful sons of derogatory term towards women that also refers to as a dog? How are we doing? I am doing very good. I just ate a bunch of sausages, a bunch of saucies with the orange potato thing. I really prefer the orange potato thing over the normal potato thing. Please, Irish people, do not murder me. Why are they so expensive, though? Why are they so expensive? Yes, it's a Thursday, Yanagibashi, but it feels like a Friday. Am I right? The weather here has been absolutely phenomenal. It's been hitting 25 plus degrees. I do not know what to wear, how to feel, because it is so hot. I went outside for a nice long walk, and let's just say I overdressed. So I was a very sweaty dog up until 20 minutes ago when I did a quick shower, did a quick food, and now I'm here with you, beautiful, beautiful souls. Today is going to be a very, very interesting day, especially because apparently shit is going down on Twitch. I don't know. Thank you, Comrade Richard, for the resub. Thank you, my friend. 3 months now. Jesus Christ, we're hitting 3 months. Like Hassan is not here. He's pissed at his community or something. There's videos dropping everywhere about so-called sexualized streamers. Just chatting is the most popular category. I don't know. All of that sounds like, fucking Gen Z words salad that I don't really understand. But hey, I'm here for any type of chaos on any type of platform in any fucking in any shape or form. Thank you very much, EcoWaves, for the resub. EcoWaves, the big G, 3 months. Thank you kindly. I'm here for any type of chaos, especially when I get to both literally and metaphorically profit off of it. Hello also to our beautiful viewers over from YouTube. Welcome. Today we'll be hanging out for at least 4 or 5 hours and covering some interesting topics, some important ones like the latest UN report, which definitely and fully says, apparently, that what is happening in Gaza is a genocide. We're going to talk about Baltimore conspiracy theories about the bridge collapse, because it's always fucking fun to look into the mind and soul of the most deranged among us. I felt like talking about Musk for a little bit as well. Yes, they call me the most masochistic person on any of these platforms. Then we're gonna cover maybe even his Cybertruck or whatever and shit. That just relatively more chill topics. And afterwards we could go into what the fuck is happening with P. Diddy and general, celebrity, ultra wealthy cross-examination with fucking insane pedophilia. Thank you, Metrimet, for the resub, and thank you, Statygeld, for the resub. Welcome back, my beautiful, beautiful souls. How are you motherfuckers doing, by the way? I hear good things. Twitch is dead. Yes. No, Hassan is in Australia, so he streams later, but they've been screenshotting some shit about, hey, I just wanted to have some fun, and when we have fun, less people come. I don't fucking know. I don't really know. Good. What about you? I'm very good. I'm fed. I'm showered. I did my once a year shower. So this room no longer smells like expired French cheese, which, knowing French cheese, it's already expired the second that you put it on the raft. But I somehow managed to make expired cheese more expired. Yugo admits Australia exists. Hey, I said that he says that he is in Australia. That does not mean that I either confirm nor deny my belief in the fake colony of Australia. Obvious questions about feet reveal, you will get those at 2,000 plus subs, okay? That's an expensive thing that you genuinely have to earn. But yeah, I showered, I ate, I had a nice walk. I had like run-ins with a very weird neighbor, like Yugopnik neighborhood lore. So a few buildings down in the same kind of block area,
Wonderful. A
there's
new
this
child
fucking
soldier,
wild person.
subscriber.
Thank you, Liz Kist, for the resub. Thank you very much. Welcome back. Yeah, I have a neighbor that for some reason takes a massive speaker and puts it on their window and just blasts music for 3-4 hours at a time. And hey, I'm always here for a party, but thank God that block is further away from mine. Otherwise, right now we would be forced to listen to fucking Limp Bizkit and Guns N' Roses, which is the only thing that fucker ever plays. But I just want to find out like the lore about it, like why the hell is he doing it? More importantly, why are his direct neighbors allowing that? How have they not called the police? Is he like intimidating them, or does he have like a license to do fucked up shit, or the cops are just tired of coming back? It's very strange. Yugopnik neighborhood lore in general. I'm very like my neighborhood is very strange. I have like direct neighbors that are nice people, but I have a very big dog that smells so intensely that you can smell them outside of the door. Like outside of the door of their actual apartment. I hope they're not hearing this right now. I wonder what my fucking neighbors think about the fact that for 4 to 5 hours, 3 to 4 times a week, there's just a guy in the building screaming in English. I've not like I don't know how I would explain it to myself. I would just be like, this guy is just insane. So let's not bother him, especially when you see my fat ass. I don't exactly look like someone you should, someone who doesn't look. I look unhinged de facto, let alone after you hear me screaming in the microphone about various political topics for 5 hours on end. But yeah, currently still working on my next public video release. I skipped this week's the program because my parents-in-law or father and mother-in-law, I'm not married, but the parents of my girlfriend were around. Very nice people, very lovely people. But that took up 2 of my days. Otherwise, I would have been streaming in the previous 2 days. Drank some very good homemade rakia that her dad brought. It was a general wholesome time indeed. So, with that being said, let us slowly migrate into the actual topics of conversation that we have prepared for you today. And that is, as I said, the UN finally calling it a genocide, a bit of conversation about Elon Musk, conspiracies about the Baltimore Bridge collapse, some deep dives into the insanity, which is Elon Musk, P. Diddy, like everything is just all over the place. But I was thinking, let's start with some fucking Twitch drama, apparently. And apparently the big topic nowadays is why women be naked on Twitch. Why women be naked? This bad because booba bad, ass crack bad. Booba bad, okay? So, thank you very much, Entropyverse, for the 5 community subs. Thank you. Entropy is a proper OG up in here. That is their, what is it at this point? 12th gifted sub. Thank you, Entropy, saving people from ads every day of the week. Now, yeah, let's start with this video, which probably is going to make our brains melt away. I was hoping that Penguin's like, that this dude is like our guy for a while, but turns out you cannot trust gamers, ever, absolutely ever. Do not trust gamers. So let's watch it. I saw Central Committee cover it for a little bit, and I just wanted to go through it because at this point I am a professional Twitch streamer, and I have to be involved in everything, even though it is in no fucking way related to what I do. Okay, so yeah, thank you, Smoraman, for the sub. Welcome, my friend. Welcome. Okay, let's get into this conversation.
Wonderful.
That
a new child soldier.
I never thought I was going to be a part of. A conversation about boobas on Twitch. What am I doing with my life? I have an actual degree in political science.
I'm still going to make a weather forecast for Twitch right now. I'm predicting a 100% chance of cloudy skies and rain. as the collective tears from all.
This is called Twitch just made a huge mistake. Is the huge mistake that they gave me a partnership last week? Is that the huge mistake? Is this a 1.2 million view video about yours truly, about the biggest booba on this server, the biggest it does? What would we call it? Yugo Booba? I don't fucking know.
All of the gooners on Twitch fall and crash upon their desk in unison because Twitch just broke their hearts. They just announced the apocalypse.
Our community guidelines are designed to help make Twitch a welcoming place. Content on Twitch is always evolving, and we want to make sure our rules work as intended and keep up with emerging behaviors. When needed, we make updates to our rules to capture those shifts in behavior, and so it's clear to the community what is allowed. Starting on Friday, March 29th, content that focuses on intimate body parts for a prolonged period of time will not be allowed. Jesus Christ. When is March 29th? Are they going to ban me? Are they going to ban me? So many of you asking for feet. I mean, I guess you're never going to get feet because this is now a punishable offense up in this boy. I don't know. So yeah, I'm arguably the guy that shows the least on this platform ever. All you get to see is Stalin eyebrows from time to time, and maybe a bit of a nose peek out. But yeah, so I didn't think this was such a big thing. To me, it felt like a bunch of, no grass touching psychos made it a very large part of their personality to be pissed off about booba on Twitch, but apparently it's a thing, and the entire corporation of Twitch is reacting. So cover your hair, you harlot. Never.
The Doomsday, or rather the Coomsday, I suppose. Friday, March 29th. Twitch is adjusting their policy that will now outlaw content that focuses on intimate body parts for a prolonged period of time. It will no longer be allowed. In no uncertain terms, they drew a line in the sand and said, this is our domain expansion. The absence of booby and butthole. I doubt there's a single soul on this planet that's surprised by this decision from Twitch because of the blossoming trend on the platform where creators were trying to push the envelope of sexual content as far as they possibly could. I mean, for goodness sakes, we had the colonoscopy cam meta, where streamers...
I mean, I always thought that Twitch equals streaming, okay? It doesn't really matter what you're streaming. And whenever you have a platform with set rules, everybody's going to push some sort of fucking boundary, right? And to be surprised that the most classic thing on the entirety of the internet of all fucking time, which is what? Which is sex, okay? Sexualized things is obviously going to make its way into YouTube, into Twitch, into Instagram. At this point, Instagram is just like a softcore porn site. Let's be honest, unless your algorithm is really different than mine, because my algorithm is muscle mummies and cars, okay? And some, like, I don't know, clips of cats. That's pretty much the entirety of my Instagram. So yeah, I have no idea what is going on and why it's going on, but let's see. Before we start, though, an ad is going to play. Twitch forces me into this, especially while watching this incredible sexualized content. So if you would like to support the show, have an ad-less experience, please do consider subbing $5 for free through Prime and enjoy all the other benefits. Thank you kindly. So let's see.
We're setting up a camera aimed directly at their chocolate starfish and put the bare minimum amount of fabric required to hide the hole. But you can still see all of the anal folds and everything. I mean, the asshole was...
Hugo self-report on the Instagram. I mean, it's not a self-report. What's wrong in having cats, cars, and muscle mummies on Instagram? Did I go to bed and wake up to a world where we do not love muscle mummies, cats, and cars? That is definitely not a world I would like to live in. Let me tell you that.
Still winking at you through the fabric. And I can't even use the word fabric in good consciousness because it was...
Also, mods, please modify the titles as we go through this. Thank you very kindly. I love you. My favorite mods, my beautiful Pokemon. Otherwise, I'm taking out the whip or the machete. I'm looking at you right now.
was barely fabric. It was like a sliver of toilet paper that just got stuck there and was hanging on for dear life because it wasn't censoring like anything. But anyway, as you can imagine, this was extremely popular, tons and tons of viewers, and this kind of kicked off this arms race, this like nuclear arms race of Coomer content. So a lot of other creators started to try and find creative ways to deliver sexual content on Twitch. I made a
Yeah, and on every platform, absolutely any platform ever, dude. If you make a forum about refrigerators, okay, there's gonna be some freak in there that like is into refrigerators in a very different manner, if you know what I mean. And they're gonna make threads about it. Like people are continuously incredibly horny, and as long as we're horny, which is going to be forever, even if we're invaded by a dominating alien species, we'll ask them after they dominate us militarily, hey, could you dom me in other ways, please? What are these ways of the human? The alien replies. Let me show you, the human says. Why are you leaking, human? Why are you leaking? No, this is good. It's good if I'm leaking. But please no stop. If the leak is red, then no good, okay? If you're leaking in other ways, yes. But no, yes, for some reason I have this here. I was measuring things and know not what you're thinking. I need to install a fucking AC here. It's too hot. But yeah, since the dawn of time, and especially since the dawn of the internet, which at this point, all of us that have been conscious since its inception, not before, has been hypersexualized, because we're hypersexualized in IRL and on a whole swath, a massive space with no beginning or end, the internet, where we get to be a bit more anonymous than anywhere else. Of course, we're going to be horny, and because we're horny, people are going to be making shit that's directed at horniness. So making this big of a deal that horniness exists and that it's more popular than other shit on particular platforms for that particular reason doesn't make sense to me. Because it's always going to be the case. No matter what you think about somebody showing booba or not showing booba, I don't really give a shit. How are you surprised by the fact that there is a lot of booba? Like... Is Twitch Muscle Mummies, Cars and Cats? The great title mods. I love it.
Follow-up video where another streamer made a green screen ass stream where she would play a game and her ass was green screened, so the gameplay was only on her butt cheeks. And I'm not gonna lie, some of it was extremely creative, watching a lot of these women scramble to find loopholes to broadcast their poop holes on Twitch. I started to get inspired myself. I was theory crafting ways on how I could get involved. Started considering buying a green dick sleeve so I could broadcast my...
Yeah, but everybody's got a thing. Why is when you're hot and you're using hotness to garner more attention and grow your so-called content creating career, the only thing you're not allowed to do? But your extreme nerdiness, your lack of touching grass, your unkept hair and always wearing the same t-shirt. Look at me, I'm one of you gamer bros. You should really relate to me. Hey, subscribe, buy my whatever he sells, G Fuel, etc., etc. That is allowed. Like, you have your charisma, and that is why people listen to you, right? Or your expertise on gaming or whatever this dude does. Somebody else is hot. Somebody else is funny. Somebody, like, these are just things you got, things you have that you use to grow your clout, if that is what you're actually interested in. For example, I have absolutely nothing, so I'm sitting here wondering why the fuck any of you are here. But other people have things like they're funny, or they're smart, or they're really into the particular niche, or also they have very nice looking booba or very nice looking butt. And that's okay. That's their skill. That's what they bring to the table. And that's why some people that are very interested in booba or ass tune in. It's not really different to anything else, man.
My Rainbow Six Siege gameplay on my erect penis. I was in the lab cooking. I was like a mad scientist, Cockenheimer. I was coming up with all kinds of interesting ideas, but ultimately didn't do anything with it. But since that last video I made on this subject, it's only continued to spiral more and more out of control, which has prompted Twitch's response here, which shuts down this entire branch of content. And if you've been paying attention on Twitch, some of the most popular streams over the last 10 or so days have been streams like these. I muted the audio on this clip because of the song playing being a DMCA risk. I like how that's the danger of this.
Yeah, open fucking Pornhub. They have like 50,000 fucking likes in a matter of 12 minutes, okay? Sex is gonna sell more than other shit because we're all continuously fucking horny. God fucking damn it. What's like so confusing about this? This doesn't take away from other content creators or whatever the fuck. It just says a very particular thing about human natur. Yes, I'm actually going to mention human natur, which is we're horny and we like being horny for long periods of time. And when you put that on the internet and do the math on what is going to be watched, it's going to be fucking shit that makes you horny. I mean, the whole thing that our gentleman pushes is anger, pretty much. When you're pissed off or you cringe at something, that's what he makes a video about, and that's what sells. Well, the only thing that sells more than anger and being pissed off about something is horniness. So if we're calling like playing on the horniness with the booba very like low tier content, and you could make an argument for that, okay? Similarly low tier content is just rage baiting fucking gamers. Okay, that's what you do, brother. Oh yeah. I think it's a dichotomy between chauvinists wanting to see horny content, getting angry because women are making money from the horny content or something. Yeah, dude, of course, because it's live and and she's right there and she's interacting with the wider audience, but she's not as commodified because she's live, right? Well, consuming regular non-live porn doesn't let you get away with not being pissed off about the fact that they're done it, etc., etc.
This clip is the music, not so much the actual sexual content of it, because this is fine by Twitch's standards, or at least it was prior to their new announcement and policy change. But this is the clear chair meta. So this is
dude, we sell burgers with sex, we sell cars with sex, we sell tables with sex, we sell games with sex. Jesus Christ, gamers have been losing their mind that their games are not sexualized as much as they were before because they associate so much with their fucking waifu or whatever that they see in a particular character, etc., etc. Obviously, some content creation will be what? Sold through sex. This is the market. This is just how things fucking work in this system. Why are you so confused? But yes, Atomic Lich, have you considered that sex is actually bad? Fucking sex havers, fucking dirty breeders.
a streamer named Novaru. She's now showing off her hot tub, justifying her presence in the hot tubs category because one of Twitch's arbitrary rules is in order to be in a bikini, you need a hot tub nearby, even though you don't have to interact with it. And then she bought a clear chair and set up a camera underneath it so that way you can get the entire kit and caboodle package view here. She's got the triple camera setup here, so you're getting the fucking Dolby Theater experience of ass. It's like the cinematic camera when you drive a car in Grand Theft Auto 4, but the only shots you're getting are ass. This next clip...
Do these guys just not like women? Do they just not like women? Chat, help me. What am I missing? I must be missing something. There's 1.2 million views on this. What am I missing? Am I like what am I missing? What's the plot twist? What's like so bad about this? Why booba and butt bad? I don't get it. You don't understand. This is capitalism, and if there's competition nearby, you just get the law to get rid of it, like TikTok. Yeah, bros be like, I love the free market. Then when sex sells, they're like, what the fuck? The women are making money from it. What the fuck? Exactly. I think they should just be gay. I think the justification is that kids are able to see this content. I'm not sure. Okay, make it 18 plus. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure those streams are 18 plus. When you open them, you have to confirm that you're 18. And that's unfortunately the only system that we have in place to make things 18 plus, because it's the internet. What do you want? Like, you need to scan your ID card every time you want to use a website like fucking casinos do? I don't know. But okay, nobody in chat is actually explaining. Okay, let's use the argument that it's supposed to be 18 plus. Well, he's showing this content as well. I'm showing it as well. Are we supposed to be 18 plus right now? I don't know. I don't fucking get it. yeah, red fill. I think Twitch wants to be more presentable and be stand out from its competition, like the casino stuff. Absolutely, I totally see where Twitch is coming from with this. Thank you very much, Nor129. The same way YouTube did great for the sub. Thank you kindly, Nor. The same way YouTube did the great purge during the anti-SJW era. Specifically after the biggest fucking guy on the platform said the N-word and like very aggressively, hard R, remember that PewDiePie era, and made fun of Jews, etc., etc. They cracked down on all sorts of stuff to make themselves presentable. Twitch is arguably doing the same thing right now. From a corporate perspective, I guess it makes sense. But what I want to ask is, how many people are actually complaining about this, or is it just a loud minority of no grass touchers? That's what's confusing to me. Like that, I'm not sure that Twitch is even behaving wisely for the market with a market mentality, because I don't see like 70, 80, even 20, 30% of regular Twitch watchers obsess over this. Kids apparently watch it anyways, but so what? When I was a kid, my friends had dirty mags, and we looked at them when we were 12, 13, 14. If they want that content, they'll find it. I mean, this is the entirety of the internet. This is like a conversation about censorship, a conversation about if sex should even be available on the platform. But then, oh my God, if that's destroying young minds, we need to fucking talk about 700 billion more other topics and other types of content that, I don't know, are literally birthing Nazis. But okay. I don't know. This just seems like silly, like fucking cringe.
I'm about to show you.
I don't see the problem. Boobas. Sexual content, yeah. Here and in every inch of the internet.
It's from Asian Bunny X, but I can't find the original broadcast or clips. I can only find Wubby's clip when he was going over it on stream, so I'm going to play you Wubby reacting to it.
This is next level shit! I also admittedly recorded this for longer than I think I needed to. It's about a minute long recording. Could have just been 10 seconds. I don't know. No, I mean, listen, okay. I'm not sitting here hating on the ladies because I keep saying this, right? If they ain't banned, that's on Twitch, right? If they ain't banned, it's on Twitch. Twitch is saying it's allowed, right? That being said, I'm just going to say this because I just have to. I feel like I'd be not honest with myself.
Okay, what is he going to say?
Come on, bro. I mean, she got the automatic jiggler, bro?
This stream is blasting all of your senses here. It's a full-blown sensory overload. I can only imagine where she's going to be in a year from now once the gamer smell box comes out, which allows you to smell games. She could easily integrate that into her content here, where you can smell her, like her sweat. If she farts, start huffing her fumes through the gamer scent box, like the sky is the limit. The future has never looked bright.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
Brighter. Like, there is so much going on right there. So she's standing on the automatic jiggler, which Wubby points out. So it's got her whole body vibrating, and it's got her butt cheeks bouncing around like they're caught in some kind of perpetual earthquake simulation. She's oiled up with an extremely tight bikini on, which looks like some high-level armor out of an MMO, and it also functions as a green screen, which she's broadcasting a video, so that way your attention is...
Their entrepreneurial spirit right in there, I agree, but it's just like Eduardo says, it's just an arse. It's just an ass. Why is this... Why have so many people brought this up as such a big problem, boobas and butts, that this whole multi-billion-dollar company was like, oh my God, we need to do something about the boobas and butts? Silence. What?
Always on her honkers, and her milkers happen to be jiggling around because she's on like the fucking wave simulator, like it's like she's on a surfboard, constantly getting hit with turbulence or something.
I mean, it is really ridiculous content. Okay, it's pretty wild. Let's agree. But so is a lot of other content. I don't see Twitch fucking banning it.
There's just so much going on. There's also Helldivers 2 gameplay somewhere on the screen there. I already forgot where, because nobody's attention is going to that when everything else is happening there. But yeah, you get the point. There was a bit of a problem on Twitch when it came to how much sexual content was starting to pop off there. So Twitch stepped in and said, okay, enough is enough. Heavens to Betsy, we've got to rein this in and get it under control. So they just made a blanket statement that any kind of content that focuses on intimate parts, that refers to breasts, that refers to butts, that refers to groins, anything that focuses on those areas for a prolonged period of time, which is a little vague, but I imagine it means like a matter of minutes, or if like there's an entire cam dedicated to your ass, it's not allowed. Period. Point blank. That is a bannable offense. Now, as I mentioned, this isn't anything super new. Since the very beginning of Twitch, there's always been this game of cat and mouse with sexual content.
Since the very beginning of any social media whatsoever. Like, look at Instagram. But these guys are not pissed off about Instagram because they don't identify Instagram as their platform, as their thing, right? The alienated masses of the gamer. Let me give you some material analysis on why they're pissed off. The alienated classes of gamers have found a safe space and a place where they can come together in their lack of grass touching and say, this is ours. This is ours. And now some grubby women with their boobas and their asses are coming into their territory and they're changing it up. And they cannot bear to see a place that they use for constant escapism, not only through the content that they consume, but also the incredibly toxic communities that they foster, right? They can't bear to see that the women's are coming and taking it away from them and making money off of what they themselves hate the most, and that is the sexy woman who doesn't want them. There you go. That's my hot take on why this is a fucking thing, okay? And yeah, Nanashima Koto, I don't think very many actual users are that pissed off about this. Feels more like an insane corporate thing. Like, why would an incel not have boobas on their second screen? I don't know. Apparently they're loud enough for this to actually pass. I don't fucking know.
And what is and is not allowed. And I'm not trying to go all old man on you.
Yeah, Gamergate 2.0 Toasty Android is just Goonergate. Like, the reason they were so pissed off about, Gamergate back in the day, and finally some people talking about hypersexualization of female characters, or, hey, maybe have some female characters that are not just victims, like very basic fucking social commentary on the state of the medium. They lost their shit because somebody is now, like, fucking with their thing. The one thing that they have, right? The one thing that they identify with. And somebody's coming and messing with how it's set up. And that feels like a direct affront and a direct attack at them. So they had to defend the games from the women's. And now on Twitch communities, they have to defend the streams from the women's as well. Well, okay, you get to see less boobas and asses. You sound like a person that needs to see a lot more boobas and asses. You need to see at least one pair of booba or ass, okay? That will literally solve all your problems, especially if you see them in 3D, you know? The thing off your screen, okay? But no. Let's just go down the rabbit hole further and further down and wonder why we are so fucking lonely, eh?
Here, I remember when they first invented Twitch titties. But I do remember back in the early days of Twitch, there was a policy that made it so gameplay had to be on screen in order for it to be allowed on Twitch.
Cassandra, as a woman who loves women, these men are so fucking weak. Yeah, absolutely. You're not seeing women lose their shit about too much booba, eh?
Twitch. They didn't have a just chatting category. So if any creators wanted to do anything sexual, what they would do is they'd put a little RuneScape gameplay in the tiniest little box imaginable and just grind an AFK-able skill like woodcutting and make the primary camera cleavage. And then you know how the rest of this story goes. You know how that anime plays out. Eventually just chatting gets introduced, and then eventually the creation of the hot tubs category gets introduced, and now Twitch...
And they're taking away everything from gameplay. This platform was always supposed to be about gameplay. Only gameplay. Just how it wasn't supposed to be about ads. But an ad is going to play in exactly 1 minute. Nobody seems to be complaining about that. Only boobas. But if you are complaining about ads, but not boobas or asses, do consider becoming a sub for $5 a month or for free through Prime. Support the show, get exclusive content, and be a boob-loving
new child soldier.
and non-ad supporting camarade. Thank you immediately to Toddletarian for the resub, and thank you Goose Mejour for the 5 gifted subs. Very kind of you, Goose Mejour. Welcome, 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 everybody. Here we stand for booba, but not for the ad. Pog boobas, indeed. That was one of my best. So many 10 out of 10s in chat. Jesus, so many 10s. My God, Liz Kissed. I'm so hard to please. That's rare from Liz Kissed. Okay, God bless. Thank you.
Having a lot of issues with sexual content on the platform. They had that policy a couple months back where they just allowed full-blown hentai, which is just drawn porn. They were totally fine with drawn porn for like 24 hours before they were like, whoops-a-daisy. That was a bit much, huh, guys? And now they're starting to get to this point where creators are starting to cross a line where it's getting to the point of like, there's a lot of softcore porn on Twitch now. And I'm very curious to see what kind of creative ways people will find to get around this policy change.
And they definitely will. It's a market thing. It's the fact that the internet is driven by the attention economy, and literally attention equals profitability for a lot of these people. So if being hot is the main thing you can offer with content, that's what they're going to do.
Because I don't think this is going
But there might be a bit less. Haha, regulations work, am I right?
get rid of sexual content on Twitch overnight or anything. But I do wonder how they're going to navigate this now. I do think it's always going to be prevalent on Twitch because that content is so popular and there's so many people on Twitch. There's clearly a huge market for people digesting that kind of content with colonoscopy cam and all of that. So I'm just wondering what's next. How are they going to invent another meta post Twitch policy change here? And I guess we'll just have to wait and see. That's really about it. See ya.
Pretty much. Thank you, Cassandra, for the sub. Thank you very kindly. Okay, the video itself wasn't as reactionary as I expected. He just outlined exactly what is happening on the interwebs.
Wonderful, a new child
But
soldier.
yeah, my analysis again, if you can call talking about this an analysis, which Jesus Christ, we are serious people here, eh? Is they feel like their platform is being taken away from them, right? And it's the women's fault, and why are you putting your boobs in my face? I just want to watch some Final Fantasy 78 gameplay. Moist centrical, literal centrist. Yes, he sounds like one. Hugo, we need the material analysis of gooning. I mean, if you're gooning with the bros, then it's a communal act. And if it's a communal act, it is communism. You know, that meme with Richard Wolff, communism. Okay, this one, but just
socialism.
Just instead of when the government does stuff, every time he says government, you should hear bros. And when he says does stuff or do stuff, you should hear gooning, okay? Socialism is when bros goon, okay? If you goon by yourself, you're an individualist, reactionary dog. But if you goon with your bros, that is communism achieved.
Is when the government does stuff. And it's more socialism.
The more you goon with, the more bros you can find.
The more stuff it does. And if it does a real lot of stuff, it's communism.
Gooning with bros is communism. What an unhinged way to start today's stream, ladies, gentlemen, and NBs. Gooning, indeed. But now over to an actually serious topic. an actually serious topic. Hopefully we will goon to these news, if you know what I mean. What's in new report for UN describing Israeli genocide in Gaza? Inside story.
A report by a UN special rep.
Thank you, Lord Thou Basil, for the 6-month sub. Thank you. Very kindly.
Wonderful, a new child soldier.
And thank you,
subscriber.
Jaws, for the resub and OG up in here.
Tour accuses Israel
Goon Part 2 in theaters now. Yeah, and now genocide.
of genocidal acts in Gaza. The entire area has been classified as a military
Wonderful,
objective,
a new
making all
child
Palestinians
soldier.
their potential targets.
subscriber.
So, how does the report reflect the reality on the ground? This is Inside Story.
Exactly. Call me Yugunpnik. Thank you, Eduardo. Keep hitting us with the hard ones. Okay. Now, it's seriously, I have to stop joking because it would be in very bad taste, even though I really want to, okay? Hot take. Gooning is better than genocide, yes. If only all the Zionists would just chill at home and goon instead of colonizing on other people. Every time you think about colonizing or doing imperialism, Biden, are you hearing me? You don't understand me? Let me. Biden, goon instead of bomb. How about that? Hey, Zelensky, Putin, how about you come together and you just do a goon sesh? Just Putin, Zelensky, Biden, Xi Jinping. Xi Jinping's going to whip out his fucking massive schlong in there, fucking intimidate the shit out of them. They're going to call him, hey, he's doing imperialism on us with his big dick. And they're just goon together. Okay, this is getting wild. Okay, goon on the Zionists. Dialectical goonism. Make goon, not war.
Hello and welcome to the program. I'm Mohammed Jamjoum. Anatomy of a Genocide is the title of a report by the UN Special Rapporteur for the Occupied Palestinian Territories. In just 25 pages, Francesca Albanese sets out in stark detail her belief that genocide is at the core of Israel's war on Gaza. More than 100,000 dead and injured in just over 5 months, fueled by rhetoric from Israeli government ministers to dehumanize Palestinians and justify indiscriminate attacks. Bombs dropped on so-called safe zones where people were directed to go only to meet their deaths. Sustained attacks and destruction of hospitals and health facilities, denial of food, drinking water, and medicine, and plenty more. We'll examine the report in detail with our guest shortly.
We've repeated this many times here on stream, but just for those of you who are new here, the main argument that is absolutely undeniable in any way or form that this is a genocide and that this is ethnic cleansing is that the specific territories that they've told them they need to move to because they are not going to be targeted there because, you know, the militants are somewhere else, quote unquote, leading to them going to those specific areas where they pushed over 1.4 million people in the case of Gaza specifically, and then mass murdering civilians there is like the most cut and dry, black and white, like 101 international law definition of you actively and as a state through planning are committing a mass atrocities, okay? And that your end goal for these territories is to be free of the domestic population so that it can later on be colonized, at which point we would call it colonialist genocide. But it doesn't really even, I mean, I know it matters for the wider population, that's why we're covering this topic, but I don't really give a fuck if they're calling it genocide or if they're calling it la la lula lula, bibi boo boo, if they're calling it gooning, okay? I don't care what they call it. There's 30,000+ at least dead motherfucking civilians right now, okay? Doesn't matter what they call it. It's murder on a mass scale that needs to stop, and it's being committed. It's not only being committed, but it's being committed by a colonialist, Zionist, and most importantly, apartheid regime, okay? So I don't care what you call it.
First,
but it's important that we call it this, but you know what the fuck I'm saying.
This report from Kulthum Sharif.
A Palestinian mother grieving the death of her only daughter. 8-year-old Aynan Mohammed al-Othamana was killed by Israeli shelling in Gaza's southern city of Rafah. As the death, destruction and suffering goes on, a critical UN report now says there's reasonable grounds to believe Israel is committing genocide in Gaza. Francesca Albanese, the UN Special Rapporteur on Human Rights in the occupied Palestinian territories, says there are clear indications Israel has violated 3 of 5 acts listed under the UN Genocide Convention. They include killing members of a specific group, causing serious bodily...
She's so cool. She is so fucking cool.
or mental harm, and deliberately inflicting on the group conditions of life to bring about its physical destruction.
Israel has used the camouflage of humanitarian law to characterize the entire Palestinian people and life-sustaining and life-saving infrastructure of Gaza as targetable, killable, destroyable.
The UN Special Rapporteur says the relentless Israeli attacks and scale of campaign in Gaza also show genocidal intent, blaming statements by senior Israeli military and government officials in this regard.
But no, as you know, chat, UN is actually secretly run by Hamas. No, the reason this is important, just like the Security Council passing the ceasefire, is not necessarily because the UN can do anything. Without the United States' approval, you cannot do absolutely jack shit on a global scale, or if you do, you will be sanctioned out of your mind and bombed out of your mind in other cases. The reason why this is important is because an institution such as the UN, having the audacity to fully recognize this genocide, puts into perspective Israel's current position in the eyes of the so-called global community. If this was done with almost any other state, it would be, okay, whatever, okay, what? Ghana is doing this, okay. But with Israel being kind of the most controversial country to target when it comes to the conversation of ethnic cleansing and genocide, even though they've been doing it for almost 100 years now, has been like the untouchable taboo, which is slowly breaking.
The report says the genocide is part of a long-standing settler colonial process aimed at erasing native Palestinians.
Blow my nose.
These acts of genocide have been motivated by vehement anti-Palestinian discourse, which characterizes the entire Palestinian people in Gaza as enemies to be eradicated or forcibly removed. This rhetoric has been pervasive across all segments of Israeli society. That Israeli high-ranking officials with command authority routinely called on soldiers to annihilate the people of Gaza is compelling evidence of explicit and public incitement to commit genocide.
Francesca Albanese is calling for an immediate arms embargo and sanctions on Israel. Her report comes just after the United Nations Security Council voted for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza and release of captives held there. The Palestinian ambassador to Switzerland said the report highlights how genocide has now become Israeli government policy in Gaza.
This has been clear to everyone since October 9th, when the Israeli Minister of War announced that he would cut off water, electricity, food and fuel from entering the Gaza Strip, all by speaking of the Palestinian people as animals and not men. This was an explicit declaration of intent to commit a war crime, a crime against humanity, and a crime of genocide by forcibly displacing nearly 2 million Palestinians and destroying more than half of the homes, hospitals, schools, mosques and churches.
Oh no, but this gentleman is wrong. It's not genocide until they destroy 100% of the schools, mosques, hospitals and local population. Only then we might actually call it genocide. Well, man, all these fucking weak soy boys nowadays, they just want to call everything genocide. Fucking 30,000 dead genocide. Are you fucking insane? The complete annihilation of infrastructure. Are you fucking insane? Pumping of hospitals and schools. Back in my day, you know what would have been called genocide. You at least needed 1 million dead.
Churches.
Sounds ridiculous, but that's literally what we do. We're just waiting for more bodies to pile up so that it's an unacceptable number, you know? Maybe 50K is going to sound a bit scarier.
The report was immediately rejected by Israel, calling it an obscene inversion of reality. Its ally, the United States, says the UN rapporteur's mandate is biased against Israel. But on the ground in Gaza, millions of Palestinians are still under attack, while many are also facing famine and disease with no end in sight to their suffering. Kulsum Sharif, Al Jazeera, for Inside Story.
All right, let's go ahead and bring in our guest.
Wait, Francesca roasted that German journalist. I think I've seen this, but let's watch it with you. Oh yeah, this is so
quoting
good.
And you're quoting the president of Israel, the prime minister, the defense minister.
Fucking Germans, man. You know, the second you hear the accent and it's a conversation about Israel, we know where this is going to go.
And some top militaries. But these are only quotes given in speeches or in other circumstances. I would like to ask you, do you have a written document by the government which with a clear intent to commit genocide?
I am doing genocide. Wait, let me... guys, let's make sure we don't have a written document in which we say we're about to commit genocide, because then they won't be able to tell us we're committing genocide. Hey, Mr. Himmler, what the fuck are you doing writing about how we need to annihilate the Jew, the Slav, the Roma, the communist, the gay? They might be able to show a piece of paper which then would define us as genocidal maniacs, not the fact that we're plowing through hundreds of thousands, and in the case of Nazi Germany, millions of people on a daily. Oh, we gotta put it on a piece of paper. I am a journalist that was allowed to sit during a fucking UN session, my man. God, like the more I watch these fucking cretins, these literal fucking gorillas, okay, the less I cringe at random people on Twitch or on YouTube covering politics, because when it comes to journalism, to a large extent, we are in a post-accreditation world where anybody can become a so-called respectable media person. Like, dude, like, this guy looks like 50 and he's been probably in this career forever. He's got like editors and like a 150K plus yearly salary probably, but and some random dude with 500 views on YouTube for his whole video probably can has a better understanding on how mass murder works. God. Oh, this writes itself, man. This writes itself. Some people really are like caricatures, like God like planted them so that we question if we live in reality or if this is all just a fucking big joke. But unfortunately, and it's not a comedy, it's a tragic comedy because of, well, people are fucking dying. Thank you, Kit Litzo, for the sub. Thank you very kindly. Welcome.
Wonderful, a new child soldier.
Man, I love your
subscriber.
accent. I love your accent too. Thank you. Unless you're German, then God help you.
Do you think that in Rwanda and in Bosnia and Herzegovina, any government officials
Balkan mentioned, baby,
wrote a document saying, I want to commit genocide? Have you seen anything like that? I'll answer this for you. No, it doesn't work like that. There is those...
Brilliant answer to the fucking gorilla question. Speaking of gorilla behavior, an ad is going to play in exactly 1 minute. If you would like to support far more superior journalism than that of mainstream 50-year-old cuck Germans, do consider subscribing. $5 or for free through Prime. No ads and the real future of journalism. Twitch streamers. Thank you kindly.
statements are just the tip of the iceberg, because I have a word limit in my reports, which is quite strict. Otherwise, we could write an encyclopedia with what has been said and done. And I said it, and I mean it. If the International Criminal Court is serious about investigating what Israel has done in Gaza, as of the 7th of October, only as of the 7th of October, it will be busy for decades. 47.
Beautiful, beautiful. Love this woman so much. Wait, maybe there's a compilation of... wait, Francesca. Let's follow Francesca. Jesus, why does she have... Go follow Francesca, Jesus Christ. Say Ugopnik fucking sends you. She needs more followers. Oh, wait, Francesca... Takedowns. No, not in Hitman. Francesca Albanese? Albanese takedowns compilation. Because she has so many of them. This is from 8 months ago. This is even from before the war started. Yeah, this is really good, but it's 1 hour. I just want, like, direct destruction. Send me clips if you have them.
Yes, in Ramallah, Mustafa Barghouti, Secretary General of the Palestinian National Initiative. In Rafah, in southern Gaza, Yusuf Hamash, Gaza Advocacy Officer at the Norwegian Refugee Council. And in Canterbury, Jeffrey Nice, a human rights lawyer who prosecuted former Serbian leader Slobodan Milosevic.
Oh, that guy! I remember this guy. Oh, but this guy got owned by another war criminal of ours. You know this? Sheshe English. You know this? Oh God, we don't like this guy. Okay, this guy bad, but he pretty funny. Okay, I'm sorry, he pretty funny. And shit like, okay, this is 1 minute 30 seconds. Shešil the King, Jesus. Wait, is it in English?
Molim vas lijepo, pročitajte nam na srpskom što to piše na kraju ove rečenice. Što niste sve pročitali, gospodine Nice, vi lepše. Na srpskom što to piše.
That's the guy. That's literally the guy they're interviewing right now. The guy you have on screen, okay? The guy you have on screen, right? So this is a Serbian war criminal in The Hague. And just watch what happens. Like, you don't know what's just yeah, this is our Trump. Okay? Watch.
Molim vas lijepo, pročitajte nam
He's built like Trump as well.
na srpskom što to piše na kraju ove rečenice. Što niste sve pročitali, gospodine Nice, vi lepše čitate. Na kraju sam rekao, vi svi pripadnici sekretarijata Haškog tribunala možete samo da prihvatite da mi popušite kurac. To stoji u tekstu. Molim vas lijepo da nam sada pročitate posljednji paragraf u tom članku. Ne mogu samo posljednji, moram i predposljednji i posljednji zajedno. Jer posljednji može biti jasan samo... Dobro, u redu. Predposljednji.
Like the most formal fucking court on the planet, the International Criminal Court, okay? And this guy just goes like this.
Them both. Read them both. Dobro, pročitajte ih oba onda. Mogu da čitam. Moji pravni savjetnici nisu moji branioci i zato ne moraju da ispunjavaju pravilničke uslove koji su predvođeni za branioce. Oni samo moraju da ispune one uslove koje im ja propišem, a vi samo dalje ometajte pripremu moje odbrane, pa ćete na kraju morati da pojedete sva govna koja ste izasrali. Jebem vam majku svima, počevši od Hansa Holciusa pa nadalje.
Fucking hell, dude. Fucking hell. We need a communist with this vibe, okay? There would be no stopping us, okay? Jesus Christ. And this is the guy that he told that to, so there you go. Don't tell me I don't know my International Criminal Court lawyers, okay?
Jeffrey Nice, a human rights lawyer who prosecuted former
History doesn't change, it just repeats in different parts of the world.
Serbian leader Slobodan Milosevic. A warm welcome to you all, and thanks so much for joining us today on Inside Story. Yusuf, let me start with you today. What's the situation like on the ground right now in Rafah? And does the Special Rapporteur's report do an accurate job of reflecting what Palestinians in Gaza are facing right now?
Yeah, first of all, the situation in Gaza hasn't been changed except for the wars in the past few days. And we were hoping recently that we are passing through Ramadan. That's going to be a glimmer of hope that they will figure it out, a solution somehow to ensure dignity of the living conditions of Palestinians who are trapped in the southern part of Gaza and the northern part of Gaza. But unfortunately, that didn't happen, and nothing has been changed except for the wars. We had more waves of displacement from Khan Yunis, Hamad area, and other areas in the middle area also. Yeah, and unfortunately, we were hoping that it could be a glimmer of hope, but unfortunately, it seems that this...
Yeah, and it's been 2 days at this point, and you can see how in his eyes, the fucking disappointment.
Endless nightmare that families and people are going through in Gaza. It's not going to end soon, and the UN reports, especially with Francesca Albanese, is much appreciated, and I think it highlights part of what's going on
Thank
here.
you, Real
But
Gibber.
I don't
Welcome.
think that any reporting could justify and could clarify exactly what's going on here, because this is a catastrophe that we never witnessed in our recent history before.
Mustafa, one of the things the report says is that genocide is a process, not an act. It goes on to say that genocidal intent and practices are integral to the ideology and processes of settler colonialism. I want to ask you if you think that the way the report laid out its context of genocide when it comes to Palestine and Palestinians is accurate.
Absolutely. I think the report is very accurate and it is fair and honest. And the fact that it linked the acts of genocide that we see today in Gaza to the Israeli behavior in general since 1948 is absolutely correct, because the genocide started back in 1948 when Israel forced no less than 70% of the Palestinian population. Israel destroyed 520 Palestinian communities, committed 52 massacres to force people out. And it is important to mention that 70% of the population of Gaza are refugees from that period, from that time in 1948.
Isn't that additionally insane? Like, you have people that are second generation or even third and fourth generation refugees that have moved to a territory because they escaped previous ethnic cleansing, that are currently being ethnically cleansed from the territory that they escaped to. It's like we live in the worst fucking timeline.
And they have been subjected to repeated occupations. The occupation in 1967 was not the first one. They were occupied in 1956 too. They were subjected then also to massacres. But today it is much clearer than any time before, mainly because media is catching what's happening and is reporting it. Before, it was not reported, and the world could not see what was happening. But in reality, I totally agree with the conclusion. This is a process of genocide that is very much linked to the Zionist racist ideology of settler colonialism, an idea that is expressed repeatedly by Israeli leaders, that their goal is to take away the land from Palestinians, to steal the land from Palestinians, and to force them out of their land. This is what Zionism represents.
Jeffrey, Francesca Albanese's report says that there are reasonable...
And if we look at it historically, the most successful colonial project in the history of our species is the creation of the United States of good old America. How was this colonial project brought to fruition? And not only to fruition, but to success. By success, we mean it stabilized as the new state of the United States of America on a territory that was previously populated by hundreds of millions of people. Well, the only way that can happen is when those hundreds of million people aren't there. Now, they can either be dead or they can be displaced outside of the borders of what you want to define as your country in a settler colonial project. Why this is even a conversation is very strange to me, because the whole point of settling a land implies you need space. And if it's already previously settled by someone else, that implies that you need to remove them from that territory. So you cannot do settling without genocide.
Grounds to believe Israel is committing genocide in the besieged Palestinian enclave of the Gaza Strip. Do you agree with that opinion?
I don't think it's going to be very helpful for me to agree or disagree with it, because for a commentator to make anything like a final decision on culpability of this kind, it's not going to help your viewers very much. What it is likely to help them is to understand the basis upon which people like Albanese and also organizations like the International Court of Justice make the findings they do, in each case qualified as being preliminary findings. And she makes her finding on the basis of looking first, or rather second, but in reality first, for the evidence of intention. And genocide is a crime of intention. Without the intention to destroy in whole or part a group, there's no possibility of genocide. Everything else follows that finding. Now, that finding can be made either by looking at what people say, and she refers to things said.
Thank you very much, Super Beltem. What's up? Got a Twitch account just to watch you. Hey, you guys on YouTube, be like Super Beltem. Come join us on Twitch, where this show will eventually be exclusive, including today. After the 2 hours and 30 minutes mark, it will completely move exclusively over to Twitch. So join my favorite children. I love you, but you're still my second favorite child. Check out the link in the description and join me on Twitch. You will have an easier time finding when I stream. The chat you'll be shown in chat on screen and get many, many other benefits. So please do migrate. Twitch is very acceptable. We are an open-minded apartheid state of streaming, okay? Come and settle Twitch, okay? the YouTube colonists be coming to Twitch.
Or what is done, which it might be thought is consistent only with one of the ways in which genocide may be committed. And she refers specifically to the level of killing and the quantity of damage done. So it is clear, as other commentators closer to the action than I am, people who are on the ground, that there is indeed material of the kind she identifies to support a possible finding of genocidal intent, and then to support one or other or all of the three ways in which she says that genocide may be committed. So I think it's a very important report, and in particular for the reasons touched on by Mustafa. It's a report which sets out that which is unspeakable in the mouths of the Western powers who bear such a responsibility for the tragedy that has developed, for which they played a part right at the beginning, going back to the beginning of the 20th century, not just after the Second World War, and in respect of which they have been dilatory, to put it mildly, in ensuring that there was either a one state or a two.
Like, even a guy like this that really wants to keep his fucking job and that is like so law-brained out of his mind, because that is everything he's done throughout his whole life, and a man who I guess prides himself in the ability to remove emotion from his analysis, still in his own convoluted way is saying that yes, what this report has found is that there is genocidal intent. To just translate unnecessarily academic terminology to you guys.
Two-state solution to a problem that was bound to arise if you had two.
Especially super interesting seeing him talk about the Western powers' complicity in this is additionally telling.
Groups of people wishing to occupy the same piece of land. That needed careful preparatory management by the external community. It did not need the power of the West to side with one side. So the outcome of failure to do what should have been done may, of course, be said to be that which we have seen. Going back to your question, there is clearly material upon which informed people closer to the action than I have found that genocide is indicated.
There you go. We got the whole conclusion. We don't need to talk about this anymore. The report, according to multiple experts, and not only experts, but the UN itself, signifies that the UN is actually working for Hamas, and we should no longer listen to anything that it has to say, because the UN from a few days ago, actually from a few months ago, has officially become a wing of Hamas militants, and is profoundly anti-Semitic and wants to destroy Israel. And the only reason it continues to exist is because it wants to destroy Israel. So we need to stop listening to that. Yeah, from now on, officially, the UN is canceled. Chat. We are done. We are done with those anti-Semitic, anti-Zionist, which are two very different things, by the way. I don't think I need to say this at this point. Institution. So yes, goodbye. Goodbye, bye-bye, UN. No, jokes aside, the Security Council passed it. Now we have this report, and yet nothing is changing on the ground in Gaza. Just a continuation of the conversation we've had 700 times here, and that is the following. In a unipolar world where there is only one superpower that gets to dictate whatever it wants to do, and in a world where this unipolar power has its direct 51st state represented in the Middle East, will not be stopped in any way, shape, or form by the so-called international community unless its other 50 state sisters and brothers tell them to stop. That is why we need to work towards a world where the American factor plays less and less of a role. Not saying that if any other powers come to be are going to be better. Only thing that I know is that the way it is right now leads to 30,000 plus dead in a matter of a few months. In a community that is literally the most vulnerable community on planet Earth. So could it be worse? I don't think so. And with that being said, let us move into the next conversation point of the day, which is going to be a bit more casual, even though it still revolves around good old death. Welcome to YouGopnik Twitch, where we only talk about death. And that is the Baltimore Bridge collapse conspiracies explode. Let's get into it.
We have to get to the bottom of this. A cargo ship hasn't taken out a bridge in decades. And a ship, as far as we can tell, has never sustained a power failure before a bridge knockdown. We need answers. And someone has to pay.
The Francis Scott Key Bridge in Baltimore, Maryland has collapsed.
Thank you, Cornethius, for the sub. And yes, for all of you cringing in your souls, we are watching David Pacman. I know I want to blow my brains out, but maybe this fucking rat-looking lib is going to at least compile all the content that we need when it comes to analyzing the situation. Okay? Okay.
All indications from what we know so far are that this was not a terrorist attack or an attack of any kind. President Joe Biden has pledged that the federal government will provide the funds to rebuild it. And yet, we are seeing conspiracy theory after conspiracy theory about the collapse of this bridge from many of the usual suspects. And as is often the case, we are led to ask the question, what's in it for them in trying to convince others that this was a terrorist attack?
Well, I don't know what's in it to them, but what's in it for me, for you to avoid the ad that is going to play in exactly 30 seconds, is that you get to support the show. I get to feel good. My mom gets to tap me on the forehead and say, I'm proud of you, son. So avoid the ad that is about to play and support the show. $5 a month or for free through Prime. Thank you very kindly for even considering it.
And the answer is quite simply, it feeds the pre-existing agenda that they've already determined is what they're going to talk about in the absence of being able to bring forward any coherent, substantive, or beneficial package of ideas for helping the average person.
It's very funny coming from Pac-Man, who does the same thing only for the liberals, but okay. Mr. Pac-Man. Literally, Pac-Man, the video game, had more class analysis than this fucking talking head.
Let's start with some examples of this. It's important to remember that much of what you are going to hear, there is no evidence of whatsoever. We will talk about facts related to the collapse, including, for example, that the U.S. Coast Guard has suspended its search for 6 individuals who are lost. We will talk about that later on or on the bonus show if we don't get to it. But understand that what I'm about to play for you, there's no evidence for any of this stuff, but these things are getting millions and tens of millions of clicks and views. It started very quickly with Maria Bartiromo on Fox News attempting to connect the collapse of the bridge in Baltimore to the so-called wide open border in an attempt to somehow blame Joe Biden.
We have raised the table. We have raised the bar. The most physically active Twitch streamer on the platform. The only thing I was planning on doing after doing standing streams is showing my booba or my ass. But apparently Twitch just banned that. Sorry, chat.
So get your take on what's going on in terms of world affairs. The White House has issued a statement on this saying that there's no indication of a nefarious intent in the collapse of the Francis Scott Key Bridge. The ship involved in the collapse of the bridge is 948 feet long, called the Dolly, a Singaporean flagged container.
Horrible accident, but what if Jews and aliens and spaceships? We are the American right wing.
But of course, you've been talking a lot about the potential for wrongdoing or potential for foul play given the wide open border. That is why you have been so adamant. Why has the Republicans had such a hard time securing this border? The president says he's not going to take executive action. You know that.
Well, we all have to stand together. We all have to say that...
Wait, what the fuck did this fucking gorilla say? Wait, what?
There's affairs.
Biden.
there is. Let me also get your take on what's going on in terms of world affairs. The White House has issued a statement on this saying that there's no indication of a nefarious intent in the collapse of the Francis Scott Key Bridge. The ship involved in the collapse of the bridge is 948 feet long, called the Dolly, a Singaporean flagged container. But of course, you've been talking a lot about the potential for wrongdoing or potential for foul play given the wide open border. That is why you have been so adamant. Why
Have you recently been in a car crash? Well, we are not about to sell you car insurance, even though you probably expected that. No. We will ask, do you really know the ethnicity of the person with whom you were in a car crash with? If only Biden had closed the borders with a harder fist, maybe that dirty brown ping, ping, ping driver wouldn't be driving on that specific day, and you would not have been in a DUI. Thank you. Vote Trump. We are very smart.
the Republicans had such a hard time securing this border? The president says he's not going to take his executive action. You know that.
Well, we all have to stand together. We all have to say that it takes 60 votes to pass anything in the Senate.
There you go. We got to stand together. No actual evidence. Understand it. Zero actual evidence linking the bridge to the border. And in fact, I would go further. One of the few presidents in recent history who really has the credibility to say, oh, this is something we can deal with. And by the way, I've been putting forth infrastructure funds to not only repair roads and replace lead pipes, but also to make our bridges modern and get up to date on maintenance so that these sorts of things wouldn't happen. If anything, we should be looking to Biden and saying, hey, it seems like Biden's right about the need to pour money into some of these things, rather than, well, Biden's open border must connect to this somehow, right? Right? Here's Matt Schlapp on Newsmax saying
Hey, I am political commentator that is saying that one side is insane for making wrong correlations between two things. But I will now proceed to say that even though this happened under my administration, it would have happened harder. I don't know, 2 bridges would have collapsed if Biden wasn't here to invest as much as he does into infrastructure. Which you remember him saying, Biden 2 million trillion. Biden 2 million trillion. So, yeah, this is how much Biden has invested.
For example, there's a situation where there's an estimation of somewhere between $700 billion and $1.3 trillion if we become more IRS agents and we go after those folks who are avoiding taxes at the top end.
Indeed, yes. We need more of this guy. That is how less bridges will fall.
He's not an expert, but drug-addled employees and COVID lockdowns may be to blame for the bridge collapse.
But what kind of questions do you want to see answered, Matt?
Well, you know, as I said, you look at our critical infrastructure, and I'm one of these people that believes we've never fully come out of all the lockdowns and the...
Right.
Dude, the United States is... in almost all regards like the 20th and everything, even though they are the wealthiest country on planet Earth, which that de facto is insane. It should immediately make you question the way the system is run, right? but infrastructure is literally the fucking 7th world country with a Gucci belt. And them being confused that something like this can happen, which in my opinion isn't really even that much linked to infrastructure. This was just a fucking accident, but okay. Them being confused that infrastructure-related catastrophes hit the mainland United States of America is like, I don't know, a Central African Republic going like, oh my God, there's so many people that don't have access to food or water. Jesus, this is so surprising. What the fuck?
And the COVID issues, and
This is still because of COVID lockdowns that basically didn't exist.
Look at whether you look at our air traffic controllers, where we have critical mission problems with filling slots. You know, I'm no expert on what's going on.
Yeah, but that's the beauty of the right wing, right? They can associate two completely disconnected things and say this is the reason why it happened. And because their thumb electorate is a literal thumb, They will just go for it because it's no longer a fight between good ideas and bad ideas, but who owns who. And the American right wing at this point is just owning the libs, the ideology. Thank you very much, Lumpen Lodge, for the $5 over in YouTube chat. Pacman has 8 years of blackout drunk voicemails from me. Really? Wow, I would love to hear those. Oh, Jesus.
On the seas, but all I would say is that if you talk to employers in America, they'll tell you that filling slots with employees who aren't drug-addled is a very huge problem. So I'm making no specific charges here because we don't know.
Right.
But
even if that was true, why, my friend, is such a big part of your population on drugs? Maybe a failing, alienated society that is run by a system that is slowly murdering their soul and leading them to find escapism in some of the most unhealthy ways imaginable. No, it's because COVID restrictions. Brilliant.
Anybody who flies in America can see that you're constantly waiting on a tarmac somewhere for some crew to show up. There's more maintenance problems than we've ever had, which I think.
Thank you very much, Sundara-chan, with the $5 over on YouTube. If only Biden let the Border Patrol mow down those immigrants, then maybe the boat would never have crashed into the bridge. Exactly.
Euphemisms for the problems.
And
by the
thank you,
way,
Keith Litzel,
everything
for the
he's
100
listed
bits.
so far are problems at corporations. But I think the key line here was, I'm no actual expert in this. And of course, the idea that it's always too...
What? How do I pronounce, Aruzan? The way you got me pronounces COVID. I just say COVID? No, am I supposed to say COVID? 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 We have defeated COVID, China virus. We've defeated the China virus, COVID. How unfortunate that it has led to the... Brother, how unfortunate that it has led to the ship crashing into one of our beautiful American bridges. COVID, China. Kobasica.
Too soon to talk about politics when it comes to gun safety. It doesn't matter if the last... in the United States, it's never been too long, actually, since the last mass shooting, because they happen constantly. But it's always too soon to interject politics. It's always too soon to inject partisanship. And yet here... when we have one side that doesn't want to do infrastructure spending, one side that's doing it, they still somehow find a way to immediately... this was before the Coast Guard search was even over for potential survivors. And he's injecting politics into it by blaming COVID lockdowns or wokeness. We'll hear DEI blamed in a moment. Here's Fox News' Jesse Waters, and he says to his viewers, don't fall for the official story on the bridge.
Okay, well, the bridge has never had train tracks, so I don't know what he's talking about, but there will be more where that came from in the next week. Made up stories, misdirection, and blame games, but don't fall for it. We have to get to the bottom of this. A cargo ship has...
He's talking about a ship to the bottom of this. Thank you, Lieutenant Clapcheeks. Your name is far too sexual for this platform at this point. Thank you kindly for the 1 month sub.
Hasn't taken out a bridge in decades. And a ship, as far as we can tell, has never sustained a...
I mean, why is nobody considering the fact that the ship has been carrying Chinese cargo, probably, direction of Singapore? That communist cargo might have woken up all those toasters, you know? We need to talk about AI, ChatGPT, COVID, toasters, China, communism, TikTok, bridge fall, people die. What about China, though? Yes.
Wonderful.
Israel good.
Subscriber.
Too many supporters of Palestine. On same ship, cargo has full Palestinian flag. Palestinian flag receive consciousness and take over ship and do terrorism because Palestinian flag Muslim. And support by Chinese communism ship. Thank you. Give me $5 million salary. Let me work for Fox News. Thank you, Trin Rec, for the resub. DEI made subscribe to your channel just like it caused the ship to crash. Exactly. No, it's thanks to Xi Jinping that all of this is happening. Xi Jinping specifically ordered them to hit the bridge with the ship so that I can comment on it on Twitch.
A power failure before a
subscriber.
Thank you very much, Kai Anchiles, for the resub. Welcome back, my beautiful.
bridge knockdown. We need it.
I don't know what you're doing here, supporting supporters of terrorist Chinese Palestinian anti-Israel ships, okay? But hey, you do with your money what you want.
Answers. Someone has to pay.
This is always if it hasn't happened before or recently to this particular ship.
But have you seen that the first video of the events that have transpired were posted on TikTok? How did the communist Chinese know that this is going to happen? Their platform found it before anyone else. God damn it. Thank you, EcoWaves, as always, the greatest donor. 133rd gifted sub. Thank you kindly.
Then it must be made up. No, I don't believe anything I'm being told about COVID because it's been like 100 years since something like this happened. Well, yeah, it's called a 100-year pandemic for a reason. It happens roughly every 100 years. No. It doesn't sound like anything I've lived through, so it can't possibly be real. But they put forward no evidence whatsoever, only circumstantial questions and conspiracy theories. On Newsmax, Victor Davis Hansen blamed the Baltimore bridge collapse on diversity hiring, code for brown people.
We don't know the.
I love America, okay? Without you, Twitch wouldn't be able to exist. Not because you created Twitch, but also because we wouldn't have anything to fucking comment on or react to. Ship hit bridge. I thought that was insane, making the correlations between ship and China and Palestine and terrorism and big bridge go boom. No. Diversity hiring. That's where it's at, my brothers and sisters. Thank you, EcoWaves, for another gifted sub. Thank you very kindly. Fucking OG. And another gifted sub. Thank you kindly, EcoWaves. Thank you. Saving people from ads every second of the day. Speaking of EcoWaves, be like EcoWaves, the Nepo baby of this server who literally bought their way into moddom. But not only that, they bought their way for themselves and 100+ other people away from what? From ads, which are going to play in exactly 3 minutes. So if you would like to avoid those and support the show for free through Prime or for only $5 a month, please do consider subbing.
Exact relation to cause and effect, but we do know this, that the world is much more interconnected, it's much more fragile than it ever has been, it's much more sophisticated, and it demands an ever greater level of expertise. But just at the time that we're building bigger and bigger and more dangerous ships, or we're assembling longer and longer trains that derail, like we saw at East Palestine with more and more toxic, we're not upping our game as far as increasing the level of expertise and especially, Eric, meritocracy. So we're not hiring necessarily the best people. We used to say we're going to hire the best people regardless of their color of their skin, their sexual orientation. Now we're saying, well, we may hire the best people.
Boy, is this an argument that in Singapore they don't hire the right people? Is this an argument that in Singapore they're too communistic and they don't like this wasn't driven by Yanks? Like what the
But more importantly,
maybe it was built by Yanks. They didn't make it properly.
Or is their ideology or their ethnicity or their gender or their sexual orientation? And unfortunately, it's the
By the way, ethnicity. If you're going to be a known racist, you should at least get the word ethnicity right. But anyway,
The lib had a good joke. Okay, I appreciate that. That was good.
Ethnicity or ethnicity notwithstanding, no evidence whatsoever that DEI, diversity hiring, or any of this, hiring gay people, had anything to do with what happened in Baltimore. And then here's Laura Ingraham on Fox News.
Like chat, like. Fuck my foot, fucking gay people, fucking N-word. American politicians.
Defending the conspiracy theorists, saying, listen, it makes sense that we'd be getting all of these conspiracy theories.
But why is it that so many Americans following this collapse believe that the Biden team isn't telling us the whole truth? Axios today bemoaning the situation, writing that misinformation runs rampant after Baltimore Bridge collapse.
True.
Live Dinosaur, thank you very much for the resub. Wait, what? Fucking get back to that door. Hugo, how tall are you? I mean, it's a pretty big door. I don't know. That's how tall I am? 6'1", I think. 1.92 m.
Theories about whether hostile actors were involved, questions about economic terrorism, and even wilder speculation I won't go into tonight.
Wait, like meter to foot. Converter, jebem ti materu pičku. From 1.92. I'm 6'2" or whatever. Okay. This much. And short kings, don't rebel too hard. Here we only tolerate you. But this is a server where we discriminate the short. Understood? You have caused almost half the world suffering. Class analysis also includes height, okay? I'm yet to meet a good short person, okay? At least a cis male good short person.
But these ideas don't spring out of nowhere.
There we go. We got a lot of 6-footers up in here, okay? And a lot of like close to 6 foot. That is the type of community I want to be nurturing here, okay?
Nowhere. They grow and they fester in situations where either the facts are hard to square with reality or where those in charge themselves have proved.
I was wondering why I was protecting people who show their boobas and their asses on Twitch earlier, but now I remember. You know why? I don't find anything wrong with some titties and asses on Twitch. You know why?
I mean, subscriber.
Because I'm tall. If you would make a Venn diagram between people losing their mind about booba and ass on Twitch and heights, there wouldn't be a lot of 6-foot plus motherfuckers complaining about booba or ass, okay? We don't do race science here. We do height science here. But we will accept you shorts as well, as long as you accept our superiority. Do you understand? We're welcoming, unlike you. Thank you very much, Maple Syrup 42069. What a name, what a name, what a name for the sub. Welcome to the community, my friend. Trains for the shorts, absolutely. Trains for the shorts. 5'5", but I'm a girl, that's okay. Yeah, I'm only talking to the cis dudes here, okay? Cis short dudes literally caused, like, World War II, World War I. Fucking Napoleon, bro. Okay?
Proven to be not credible.
There you go. I mean, listen, what we're being told by people we can't trust doesn't square with reality. So it's natural that people would be skeptical and weaponized disinformation would be spread. It's simply natural. A couple more. These are not videos. These are from Twitter. Andrew Taint and Alex Jones piling on, with Taint saying,
yeah, you might be getting pissed off, Chad. I don't care with this rhetoric, but where's the lie? Where's the lie? Where's the lie? Is there research correlating height and bad behavior? Let's see. The effect of physical height on workplace success. Human height is positively related. Oh my God. It's positively, human height is positively related to interpersonal dominance. Okay. It's probably going to be tall people slander now. On workplace success. Okay. Are there any graphs? Height, social esteem, objective performance, self-esteem. Subjective performance, career success, objective. Okay, so if you're higher, you feel better, so you dominate harder. Okay, I mean, good morning. But you just dominate because you're dope, not because you literally take over countries, because I am short man. Weight, tiredness, shoe size, height. What, height and weight, there is a correlation? Oh my god. Hours of sleep, tiredness, there is a correlation. What are these graphs, god damn it? Height, I want height correlations. Weight and height. Yeah. Bullshit. If anybody has a link to anything that can confirm my biases, please send it. But if it does not confirm my biases, do not send it, or because I'll ban you. Okay, thank you.
Quote, this ship was cyber attacked. Like.
Okay, Red Phil. Let's see what Red Phil is sending my way. Some big brain stuff that I will not understand probably. Soviet and Russian leaders by height and order. Wait, fuck you. Yeltsin, yeah, Yeltsin was a fucking unit, man. I think Yeltsin's like Serbian or Croatian. Dude was fucking massive. Stalin was a tiny boy, okay? Tiniest. And with Khrushchev as well. Like, of course, the most controversial ones are the tiniest ones. Lenin just, okay, Lenin's an outlier. Sometimes short mothers give birth to great short men, but it's kind of, it's an exception that proves the rule. Okay. But there's not like, only Andropov and Yeltsin are actually tall-ish. Brezhnev, okay, over meter 65. But the only guy over 6 foot was Yeltsin. Fucking Yeltsin. Okay. Literally the worst one ever is the tall one. I said, do not fucking send me data that counteracts with my height supremacist beliefs. Okay?
Lights go off and it deliberately steers towards the bridge supports. Remember, what we know is it lost power and kept steering in the direction it was going. He goes on, foreign agents of the USA attacked...
Yeltsin is a blight to all tall people everywhere. Okay? Exactly, Kai Anchilis. Don't trust short people propaganda. Fake news. I'm about to time out my own mod for sending me this link. Fucking pathetic. Wait. Why is it giving me IMBD? How tall was... Dude, why is it so... Tito height, 6 foot. Oh no, that's a football player. What the fuck? Is there a height on Google? Do they write a height? No. Why is it like, did Tito manage to hide how tall was he? He was from everybody. How tall was Josip Broz Tito? How long was Josip Broz Tito? Dude, at least fucking 8 inches, okay? It was very long. One of the most embarrassing stories of my life, I think I was like 16, and I walk into the room, and my mom and dad are watching TV, and my mom looks me up and down and says, damn, son, you are very long. And my dad dies laughing. He's like, what the fuck are you saying? There's only one thing that we measure in length, woman. But then he stops and he says, well, if he's my son, then he's definitely very long. And then she chuckled in kind of not a supportive way. So I don't know what that was about. But yes, I was once told by my own mother that I'm very long. Welcome to the trauma dump hour. Height was 6 foot for Tito. Okay. And how tall was Fidel Castro? Dude, fucking literally my height, okay? 1 centimeter shorter. There we go. Proven, okay? Proven. Sure, Lenin was shorter, but damn. There we go. There we go.
Digital infrastructures. Nothing is safe. Black Swan event imminent. And Alex Jones quoting taint and adding, looks deliberate to me. A cyber attack.
I'm a literal reincarnation of Fidel Castro, but 1 centimeter taller, because I'm 100% sure that I am not 1 centimeter longer than Castro. I don't think anybody's longer than Castro, if you know what I mean.
Attack is probable. World War III has already started. So, of course, the truth is, officials have said there is simply no evidence that this was intentional. There is no evidence that it was an...
We are learning Yugopnik's dad's dick size today. No, but my mom laughed at when he said, oh, if he's as long as me. It wasn't a supportive laugh. That's my Freudian analysis on this to this day kind of pops up in my head.
An act of terrorism. This is all being investigated.
Not from I think I caught him once or twice accidentally exiting the shower, and I remember it being a unit, but I was tiny then, so my size mentality. And what if he's a grower? Okay, I'm done talking about my dad's penis. Jesus Christ.
It appears the ship lost propulsion, filed a mayday, and all evidence right now is consistent with that official story. Now, if that changes, then I will bring it to you. But this is all what happens when you create a vacuum of...
I love how now chat is split between people who've never seen their dad's dick and people who've seen their dad's dick many times. I do not know which is worse, okay? But what... how about maybe the conspiracy that the ship hit the bridge because they haven't been raised in proper traditional Chad values, which are seeing your dad's penis?
Sanity. You eliminate sanity.
My dad abandoned me. Oh, Jesus Christ, chat. Holy shit, God.
You eliminate facts. You eliminate any policy. And all you have is, I don't know, there was a bridge collapse. How about we try to blame it on Biden and the hiring of supposedly unqualified gay and black people?
Dude, this is so dark. My dad went for a pack of smokes and never came back when I was 5. He took his penis with him. Jesus Christ. My dad abandoned me, but I found that motherfucker. Is he dead now? That took a turn. A bridge collapsed on my father. Okay, I'm not going to read this anymore. God shot. You're like, holy shit. Better that your dad left you than if he left you his penis. Oh my God.
What it comes down to. And I know it sounds crazy to hear it.
Apologies to all the women in chat. Deeply, deeply. But I think you know men at this point, and our favorite conversation point ever is penises. Apparently our dad's penises now as well. Welcome to the prime stream. Maybe they have banned boobs and butts from this platform, but conversations about parent penises, that will never go away.
That way. But that's fundamentally what it is. There is no evidence for any of the claims they're making. If any such evidence should surface, and I'm not making a pun, but if any such evidence should surface, I will let you know. The household products you buy every week.
Give a man something to draw with, and he will draw a penis every time. Some guy online. Okay, speaking of massive cocks who probably have a tiny penis, our next topic of the day is Elon Musk. If that was not the best fucking introduction to a topic, I don't know what is, baby. We are watching our least favorite liberal last week tonight with John Oliver, a man who is capable of creating incredibly detailed and well-researched pieces of short documentaries, only so that in the end his conclusions are so lackluster that they make the whole previous piece of work pretty fucking meaningless. Jesus Christ, we're fucking hemorrhaging subs today. Jesus, I guess there was a lot of subs on this day 1 month ago. So don't think I'm like lying and moving the scale back. It's just how Twitch works. So today we do be hemorrhaging the subs. But it's a part of the... I want to say it, but I miss the billionaire of old that just wanted to amass more wealth and whose main identity revolved around him being a kind of above human deity that has so much money that he can metaphorically transform into so much power, and therefore elevate himself to a untouchable status. He is above governments, he is above states, he is above the police, he is above regulation. The fucking billionaire who accepted that he's the bad guy, fucking bathe in the soup of hellish evil, okay? Because that was the honest billionaire. That was the class enemy you could respect. Now, while destroying our world through insane wealth disparity and through the wasting of billions of dollars on things that make absolutely no fucking sense that are only an internal LARP, these same guys also want to be the big, bad fucking demigods and save us as well. That's a class enemy you cannot respect. Please fucking tell me you hate me, goddammit. Don't try to save me. Fucking quasi CV in his case, you know, getting into PayPal, fucking everything up, and then quite literally being kicked out of PayPal, which for some reason John is not mentioning. And you can just throw a very big idea when you have some relative reputation at idiot investors, and they're just gonna throw money at you. Elon Musk is the greatest fucking money laundering con artist of our time, and somehow I wonder why in a system that doesn't really encourage production financially, doesn't really encourage contribution to society financially, but only overblown ideas that have no material backing to them. So yeah, a guy, he literally went and said, hey, why don't you give me a couple of bill? I'm going to make fucking Mars space stations. And there was enough rich idiots that were like, okay, let me throw all that fucking cash at you. Thank you very much for taking it from me.
Although, as some point out, SpaceX wasn't exactly starting from square one. What SpaceX
and that's not even touching on the government subsidies that he got both for that project and every single project he's ever been working on. If we want to talk about fucking fat ass motherfucking welfare queens, our boy is at the front of the parade, man. Customers, you can lie to entire governments, you can be a constant, massive, and unapologetic failure. Your wealth can be rooted in dictatorial, authoritarian, apartheid regimes. You can say the most outlandish white supremacist and anti-Semitic conspiracies out. You can make the worst investments ever seen by man, losing over 200 billion. Okay, over 200 billion. Again, never seen by man before our boy Elon. And yet somehow the rest of us schmucks need to sit here and accept the fact that we can't get basic fucking healthcare, that we're so alienated from our existence that we contemplate wrapping that fucking sheet around our neck every morning we wake up. We need to accept that while the paragons of what is defined as success are literally presented by this absolute fail son of a nerd. Okay. At this point, if you're a working class capitalist, you're just fucking idiotic. Pro-capitalist, because you're not a capitalist, you get my point. And thank you very much, Comrade Banter Boss, for the sub. Welcome to the community, my friend, and for the 5 gifted subs. Thank you. Kindly saved so many people from evil ads. Way to being a 1K streamer, baby. Getting closer and closer with every motherfucking stream. Thank you very much. Spell out my name with the sub. Thank you. That is the only thing I wish from this planet. 1,000 constant. I would be so fucking happy doing this. I mean, I'm already happy doing this, and I'm so thankful to all of you. But at one point, if it's 1K Andy, that is a critique, a scathing critique for most people. To me, it would be the biggest fucking pleasure, biggest fucking privilege. Thank you, Noodle Tech, for the sub very much, and spell out my name, which I just did also for the sub through Prime, and Xi Jinping for the first time today. Anonymous gifter, thank you very much for the 5 gifted subs, which we all know what that means. We must thank our glorious donors. The only way we know how, and that is to salute the great Revolutionary Forces of Chinese Hasanabe. Thank you, Ben Pierce, for the sub for 3 months as well. Very kind of you. Let's get this fucking train going, baby. Yeet, yeet. Salute, salute, salute. Thank you, Xi Jinping, for your wonderful donation.
天上太阳红呀红彤彤的，西中太阳是毛泽东的，看看到我们的职业班内，这里本身当家做主人。
Thank you very much, Salmon Sounds, for the 1 month sub. Thank you, kindly.
这里本身当家做主人。
Wonderful, a new style soldier, subscriber.
天上太阳红呀红彤彤的，西中的太阳是毛泽东的，看看到我们奋勇前行的革命江山，一叶一片红梅，一叶一不由来呀，我啊，革命江山一叶一片红。
Thank you, Salmon Sounds, for the sub. Thank you, everybody, and thank you, Xi Jinping. That's how we motherfucking do it. Level 3 hype train, baby. Thank you, Face Erase, for the sub. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Wonderful, a new style
我心中的片海洋，这的片片绿。
Am I wrong, or does he say defend Taiwan in this part?
心中的片海洋
啊 ，defend Taiwan。
这的片片绿一片红，长白千里歌声嘹亮，拆人江发风起飞扬，接着江为大海，温度为我闪闪发。
I'm steaming, baby. Thank you, Vekanon, for the sub, and thank you very much, Atagon, for the 3-month subs. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
我不随了你，你的头发拉进心肠，变得森林出远离。
We almost never get to this part of the song, but it's thanks to this hype train. Thank you very much, Kit Little, for the 100 bits. Wait, there has to be.
太阳红呀红彤彤的，心中的太阳是毛泽东的，看看到我们的接班呢，这里本身当家做主人，一言一不由该要会的话，这里本身当家做主人。 天上太阳红呀红彤彤的，心中的太阳是毛泽东的，看看到我们奋勇前进的革命江山这一片红的，说了那子一样一片红的。
Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Fuck to the yes. And I will snooze the ads because I love you. And thank you so much, Call Sara PLS, for the 1 gifted community sub. Sorry for reading it out so weird. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Wait, let me try and find this Chinese army. Because I found one, wait. Hong Kong Cop. Wait. Where is it? This one? Yeah, Chinese military. Look at, like, I can't believe, but the Chinese are getting to the Chad, Chad compilation territory, which is very unexpected for me, to be honest. I expected them to be more, not as cringe as us in the West, but nope. Cringe is international. Wait, was this? One more second. I think it's this one. Wait, this one. Wait. Oh. No, there's videos like this.
和平美好，幸福安宁。祝愿大家新年快乐，皆得所愿。谢谢。
Or like shit like this. Like the Chinese are catching up to everything, even our like Western trends.
Thank you, Equaways, for the 5 gifted subs. And thank you, ADM Monster, for the sub. Continue thanking our beautiful Xi Jinping donors. These are not individuals. I actually work for China. Tacky stream confirmed. Dengue on fire rises.
Okay, enough LARP. I apologize for the LARP, but it was very fun. Thank you very much to all the beautiful subs. Thank you very kindly. Thank you. YouTube might have kicked us out, but here on Twitch we keep dominating, baby. On our way to 1,000 stream Andy. It in the end with liberal posturing. Absolutely no conversation whatsoever, which includes even the tiniest inch of class consciousness. But you know what else has no inches?
Right, there's been
at least no inches of class consciousness. Well, ads. They're going to play in exactly 45 seconds unless you are a subscriber. Change that. Don't watch ads. Be better. Be better. Be better.
A lot of weird cars to come out in the past couple.
This I just wanted to watch, and I wanted to watch with you guys. Maybe not all of you are car people, but you don't really need to be car people to not like box truck. Okay, so let's see what box truck is actually like. And thank you very much. At this point, Entropy in Reverse has taken both Luna and Ecowaves by the feet, raised them, and just smashed them together into a bloody pulp, winning this fight over this current fight over being the sub-god of Gopnik Twitch. Battle might be over, but the war has only begun. I think I found a new loophole in how to make people give subs. Make them fight each other.
Weeks.
But congratulations, Entropy in Reverse. Congratulations.
Months.
You have won this one. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the Cybertruck. Just mods add, like, don't change Elon cringe Lord Musk. Just add Cybertruck cringe or something. I don't know. And thank you, Razzle Dazzle, one of my favorite names on here. 3 months, let's go. Thank you very much for the sub.
Years, decades. But this one might.
No way, it's been 3 months already. Jesus. I mean, I stream so rarely. I need to stream more often. I really need to stream more often.
Be the weirdest one of them all, and I don't think it's particularly close. This thing here, this has come out for 2024, and it's called the Tesla Cybertruck. I've been driving it, living with it for almost 1,000 miles for a couple of weeks now, so you don't have to. God, I will say this vehicle is characterized by these really big highs and lows, really big, sweeping, exciting, really interesting things about it.
So exciting and interesting. It is a box. I can't wait for him to tell me what else is interesting about it, except it is box.
And then lows on the other side that are like really disappointing about it, that you only really find by actually living with it, which I have been. So that's what this video is. I'm just going to detail everything, break it down.
Oh, wow. Maybe vehicles should be bought after they've been test driven for 10,000+ miles at least. But no, these guys fucking pre-ordered it. They pre-ordered a brand new thing that has never been done before. And they're like, oh my God, it doesn't run like a car because it's been developed by a fucking edgelord. God.
They tend to interrupt these videos, but that's okay. This is the Cybertruck. Now, it feels like there's only one place to start with the truck, which is how it...
With our truck, you will not really need a coffin after dying. Once you die because you're driving this thing, they can just pick you up and put you in a very big hole. I mean, you could afford a Cybertruck. You probably can afford a grave for it as well. Eco-friendly, that is what we call this.
It looks, right? This thing, I have a lot more to say about it and maybe a main channel full review, but I think it's kind of iconic, meaning you either love this or you hate it. And in person, it looks even more cyberpunk, like low poly render than maybe anything on video quite shows. And I'll dig more into the materials and the build quality and panel gaps in just a second, but there's something you should know about living with a Cybertruck, which is that the truck itself is a bit of a celebrity. At least at this moment, especially if you're in a place where there aren't really any others yet, you cannot drive this without getting attention at all. It's the most attention-getting vehicle by a long, long way that I've ever gotten. You drive this thing, people walking past turn around.
I mean, that's the whole point. That's the only people that fucking buy it. People that want to grab attention, but they don't really grab positive attention, if you know what I mean. People point and laugh at you, my brother.
Driving by, literally accelerate to try to get a better video out their side window of you driving by. It's actually kind of dangerous. Like, the way that people behave on the road when they see a Cybertruck and want to go get a video of it is crazy. That's all by itself. This truck also has Sentry Mode. You probably already know about Teslas, where you walk up to the truck and it knows and it turns on the recording from the cameras. This truck has hundreds of video clips of people walking up to it and looking inside and just generally interrupting it and draining the battery during the day. It's that popular. So I feel like it's polarizing enough that people either love it or hate it. In real life.
Does anybody have a link to that fucking epic tweet of like, it's Sunday night, you're out with your bros driving your Cybertruck, everybody is pointing at you and you think you're cool, but like, send me a link to that tweet. I have to read that out. Like,
I kind of like it. It's really hard to explain why. I think it looks sick in person. It's also dirty. Don't get me started. The roads in New Jersey suck. They're flying away. It's okay. But generally, yeah, this is it's a very unique looking truck. But the thing about these looks is I think it actually distracts people from a lot of really interesting technical innovation that goes on under the hood. I mean, everyone wants to talk about the looks, understandably, but the 800-volt architecture, this crazy suspension with a ton of travel, like there's more happening with this truck that I'll get into in a second. But let's just start with the basics. What is it, right? There's basically two Cybertruck steps.
Thank you to the beautiful refugee who has been saved from YouTube, Broke Social. Thank you very much for the sub. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
You can get right now. Two different versions. The dual motor or the triple motor, the Cyber Beast. So this is the Foundation Edition Cybertruck Foundation Series, which means it's one of the first ones. It's a low VIN number, but this is the dual motor version. The triple motor version is basically the exact same truck, but faster because it has an extra motor in the back and it has Alcantara in the dash. That's basically the only difference. But let's get into the technical stuff. First of all, they ship to owners without that hubcap. Remember the aero cap that we see in all those early Cybertrucks, especially when they show all that promo material? That's not on this truck. So you do have just the open wheel when you get your Cybertruck. They're redesigning the aero.
Dude, you get the cheapest looking fucking wheel on the planet, man. Like, like when you buy a Renault, like a stock Renault or some other bullshit that comes out of France that they call a car, you get a better fucking rim, okay? This is supposed to be a premium vehicle because it's priced at it. But no, we will follow our God King Elon to our deaths, quite literally. With this car, to the death of somebody else, because this thing will drive through a fucking kindergarten and not stop while it mows down hundreds of fucking toddlers.
Cover that you'll eventually allegedly get, which means this. You see the open wheel, you see the brakes, but you also just have like no hubcaps and no nut covers, and that's the only place I've seen rust on this truck. A little bit worrying, but that's the way it is right now. You can get third-party covers if you want, but that's the place I see rust on this truck. And then the thing about a low-VIN Tesla is you will be dealing with low-VIN production quality stuff. Only reason I say that is because I'm the guy who doesn't really care about panel gaps too much, and I still really don't pay too much attention to it. But this panel gap is actually worth mentioning. It's the worst I've ever seen in a production vehicle. I'll just show it to you. This is the driver's side door. There's no door handles.
I don't fucking know. I can't find it. Thank you, Shy Guy, very much for the sub, and thank you, Tah Ahmed, for the sub. Third month for Tah Ahmed. Thank you very kindly. Welcome to the community.
You get into the truck is that little handle, and it pushes it out, and then you pull the truck out the rest of the way. That's why there's fingerprints all over this truck. But I don't know. I think there's going to be something wrong with this door because it literally looks like it's open. Like that's pretty bad. I've never seen.
Dude, it's fucking horrendous. The car design's so bad the door doesn't even fully close. Car design's so fucking cheap that your rims look like they're straight out of 2003. Car design's so fucking bad that it doesn't give you any of the most basic luxurious features that a car at half this price will give you. But we made it look like a box, and a lot of people's heads are going to turn as you drive by. That is why you should pay that ludicrous sum. Like, these fuckers will buy absolutely everything as long as it's got a fucking... as long as it's sold to them as like, this is a car for more techie people, not those dirty car bros, okay? You know, That's what Tesla has always pushed. Thank you very much, Based Ginja, for the sub. Tell me you hate my name again, Papa Yugo. Oh, no, I love it. I love it, but it's very close to me potentially saying a slur.
A new child soldier. Subscriber.
In a gap quite that bad. That's the way.
But yeah, that's the whole marketing pitch. The whole marketing pitch is both the originality of quote-unquote driving something that looks nothing like anything else on the street, but the bigger one is back with the Teslas originally. They understood that the diesel head sphere is already populated by guys that have been into cars for like decades upon decades upon decades. And they were like, most of them we can't actually pitch this to. We'll try to pitch it to them by saying just how fast our cars are going to go, while being very quiet about the fact that you need to recharge them in like 150 kilometers if you actually drive them at full speed, right? So we're going to target a new demographic, and that's the MacBook owner. That's the guy that buys the iPhone the second the new one comes out. That's the guy who was always kind of interested in cars, but he considered it beneath him to be into cars. So now he can be into cars, but like cool cars, nerd cars, techie cars, the IT specialist's car, the coder's car, right? And it fucking worked. They literally went down the path that Apple did with, remember those ads about MacBook owner and PC owner, you know, the Windows guy versus the Mac guy. They're doing the same thing just with cars, and nerds fucking jump at the first whistle.
Should look. That's the way it looks. It's probably one of those things where I'll have to bring it into Tesla. They'll tighten some things up and it'll look fine, but that's the stuff you will probably have to deal with if you get a low-VIN Cybertruck. But then, of course, you know, you're looking at the materials, you're looking at these angles, all the sharpness up here. I've talked about this before. This is not a surprise. But you have this big LED light bar on the front, which is pretty iconic when it pulls up behind you.
Still, nobody has found that fucking tweet to send me, man. I really want to show it to you guys. It's the perfect fucking allegory for this whole thing.
And then all of the actual headlights are down here. And so that's where all the actual bright light comes from. You also got your front-facing camera on a Tesla for the first time with a washer. Sick. And then this huge sloping windshield. Some might even call it the largest sloping windshield on any vehicle ever, which brings us to the windshield wiper. This is the largest windshield wiper on any production car, and you've seen people do this before, but it's just massive. It's just big blade. It's pretty expensive to replace, but it seems to work fine. The one weird thing about it is it doesn't actually go all the way down to the bottom of the glass on the window.
Funny enough, while looking for the actual tweet I want to show you guys, and this guy's other company, like the website is basically down. It doesn't want to load. It's so funny. Wait. Yeah, look. We're talking about, okay, it loaded. Wait, Cybertruck weekend. I have to find, like, it's stuck in my head, dude. No, it's just gonna be filled with all these fucking cucklords loving it and seeing it, and it's an old one at this point, but obviously I can't find it. Okay, Cybertruck Imagine. I remember like very rare small words. Okay, doesn't matter. Yeah, I'm free scrolling. That's a bad idea.
This actually pivots over to a couple inches above the bottom.
Thank you, chat. Saving
so when
Thank
it's
you.
wiping, there's just a bunch of rain and water at the bottom that still continues to roll up the windshield even while you've cleared the windshield. It's kind of a weird California quirk where they design cars that aren't as good in rain as you would expect. Either way, I'll just finish my way around the outside of the truck. It's a pretty
big quirk. This motherfucker calls it the quirk that you can't get water off of your fucking windshield. My dude, this isn't a fucking drone or a fucking advanced charger for your 7-screen iPad. This is a car that can potentially murder people. This is more dangerous than a fucking AR-15, my brother. Like, what the fuck? No, it's a quirk. It's a quirk, guys.
Big truck, as you already know. It's full size, especially from like this rear 3/4 angle. It just has these big shoulders. It kind of looks like a dump truck in a way. Maybe that's not the best way to describe it, but that's what it reminds me of. Either way, big glass sunroof, and then you've got this huge truck bed, which has the lockable tonneau cover, which they call a vault. And when that comes up, it closes that rear window and comes all the way back to the front. And then you can open the tailgate. So there's lights in the tailgate. There's even hidden storage right here. There's no room for a spare, so this is a truck where if you want to carry a spare, that's going to take up room in the actual truck. But, you know, you can have...
I don't think I'm cut out for this job. I don't think I'm cut out for this job. I think if I do this streaming thing and have to watch this sort of stuff in 3 years, I will have the mental health of a gorilla that they give meth to. Okay, I genuinely think this is doing more damage to me than if I would go to and do like 3 grams of blow right now. If you ever find me losing my shit and running around naked in the town square of the city I live in, know that it's not because I drink. Know that it's because of this. There's no saving these people, dude.
Your charging equipment down here, maybe have some groceries down here, a little sub-trunk space, never hurt anybody. And I definitely want to mention you have these outlets over here. So you have the two 120s, but you also have a 240 volt, which you can literally use to charge other vehicles. You can charge another Tesla, you can charge a Rivian, whatever, just with the mobile connector by plugging it in here and plugging it into the other vehicle, which is pretty sweet. But this is also a good time to talk about the battery of the Cybertruck. It's a big battery physically, but it's not the best range I've ever seen. So this dual motor Cybertruck is going to get on a full 100% charge up to like 320 miles indicated. You can actually drive more like 290. And the triple motor, which I've been recently living with, maxes out at 300 indicated,
and
which
always
is
keep
actually
in mind
more like...
you can drive that much if you drive 110 fucking kilometers an hour. I don't know, 65 miles per hour. Just bought a brand new car that can drive really fucking fast. But if you actually drive it at like decent speeds on the fucking autobahn, on the highway, it will be able to get up to 150 kilometers, okay? You can't even go visit your aunt that lives in the village next to your city.
265, 275. And it's also not the fastest charging Tesla we've seen either. You go to a regular Tesla supercharger and you don't max out at quite the same charge curve speeds for a long time as like a Model 3 or a Model S would. So it's really not the ideal long-term road tripper. That said, there are several accessories that are supposed to be also coming to the Cybertruck. And this is one of those low points of the Cybertruck, which is it's so early that they don't exist yet, and I don't know when they will. But one of them is the extended battery that goes on the back of this thing.
And if they do, they're going to
brings
cost
it up
us half
to
the
allegedly
car.
500 miles. Huge, several thousand pounds, plugs into the truck, takes up space in the truck bed. I don't know if or when that's coming, but it exists on their website. The other is the light bar on the top. It's also, who knows when it's coming. There's no info about it. I saw one at Tesla's factory, but no indication of when that's going to come, even though I ordered one and I have a truck that doesn't have it. So the last thing that's not shipping with the Cybertruck yet is autopilot. So it has all these sensors, it has all these cameras all the way around the truck, but the autopilot or full self-driving that you're used to in other Model S and Model 3 and Model Y and Model X doesn't work. All that this has is traffic-aware cruise control. So you still steer, but it will do following the car in front of you and keeping its distance variable speed.
Dude, they sell you.
Paid for autopilot.
They started selling us cars and then saying, yo, you need to buy a fucking DLC in order for this car to actually be good. Dude, there's microtransactions in our cars now, my dude, okay? My dude will sell you a futuristic truck but will not account for the fact that you actually need to have to at least carry a spare tire, my dude. My dude will sell you a car with rims that look like they're straight off of a Peugeot in 1996, my dude. My boy will give hundreds of thousands, $100,000+ for a car that can't properly wipe the fucking rain from the windshield, my dude. My boy will give $100,000+ to get a car whose door doesn't fully close, my dude. O jebote, pa vi Amerikanci zaslužujete da vas jebu svaki dan, razumeš, kad ste glupi ko kurac. Svi vi ste glupi ko jebeni kurac, ma i da vas jebu, da produže da vas jebu, samo da vas jebu. Kad im kupujete takva sranja da vas jebu. Vi ste navikli da vas jebu. To ne znači da vi posle nas treba da jebete zato što pravite takve jebene izbore. Evo koji kurac.
You don't get it. You paid for that battery, doesn't exist yet. You paid for the light on top, it's not there. But let me show you what is here because I have noticed some new stuff. And by the way, I said this in the impressions video. I said that this would happen. And here are all your fingerprints from getting into the Cybertruck. But let's look at the interior real quick. This is your steering wheel. So the Cybertruck is in every... That sounds bad. The Cybertruck is in every possible way a Tesla on the inside. It's very, very minimal. And to me, maybe even too minimal, just because this is supposed to feel a little bit more of a special vehicle. Here you go. First of all, this is the key.
My bro will sell you a 100K plus car that looks like you and the bros gooned on. Like, hey, what if my car looks like it's covered in jizz? Immediately takes out card, that maybe. Take my money. Thank you, EcoWays, for the gifted sub as always. You fucking legend.
It's just the normal key.
Speaking of which, an ad is playing now. They just threw it at me. I didn't even know it was going to play.
Fob. But this is the first Tesla ever with a power opening front trunk. It would be nice to have a button to open it or just kind of like a cool cyber fob. But cost. Gotta save cost. Same thing here. It's everything on one screen. And to give them credit, it's an awesome screen. It's a huge display. I think it's 15 inches diagonally. It's got all this compute. It's really smooth.
But dude, they put big tablet in car. Door not close. Have you seen big tablet though? Have you seen big tablet in car?
Smooth. Everything you ask it to do, it usually does it pretty dang smooth.
And I love how they sell you the fact that they're saving money on you and they're not actually selling you a proper fucking key to open your car with. By telling you, no, this is innovative. Look, it's like a card. It's like a card. BMW, Audi, and Mercedes, you know what they do? They give you both. And they cost less than this, okay? Can't believe I'm defending corporations right now. And guess what you will get in a Mercedes, Audi, or BMW? The doors will close. You will be able to wipe off the water off your... I'm not going to repeat myself. But okay, maybe their screens aren't as big.
Even though there is no CarPlay, there is no Android Auto.
And you can't really goon with your bros on top of a BMW because then nobody's going to see because the paint is so good, the jizz is going to slide right off. Here, even if you don't goon, it's going to look like you fucking gooned, brother. CMS 1210, thank you very much for the resub. Hello, everybody. Thanks for what you do, Yugopnik. Thank you for the support, my friend.
This is the best computer I've ever used in a car.
Soldier.
All the UI, pretty intuitive. I think some people find this menu a little bit intimidating because there's a lot visually going on here, but once you get used to it, you kind of know by muscle memory where to get to things.
Yeah. Well, you can get used to like this fucking car, okay? You can get used to driving this, and then it's okay. So buy this for I think $600, okay? Buy a fucking Yugo for $600. Back in the day with inflation, it was $3,990. It's gonna be a better fucking purchase than a goddamn fucking Cybertruck. I remember the scene, Die Hard. What was it? Die Hard, Yugo.
Hey, we'll see. We're gonna need a car. A car?
They get into a Yugo.
You know how to hotwire this thing? Of course I can. I'm an electrician. Only problem is... takes too fucking long. Not on the bridge! Down there, McLean. FDR. Let's go, come on. Shit, what? Shut the phone. Oh, you bad. Come on, what's 21 out of 42? I don't have a clue. Well, what about
Yugos are easy to steal, yeah, because nobody wants to steal them. You don't really need protection. Ain't nobody stealing a Yugo.
Yankee Stadium? We'll get there, but that son of a bitch is not getting off of Manhattan. Oh, gee, right. You think you're a lady, Hillary Clinton? That's it. What? Hillary Clinton.
Well, that aged great. That aged fucking phenomenal. This isn't why I even played it, but okay.
The 42nd president. No, she'd be the 43rd president. All right, but who's the 21st? I don't know. You don't know? No, I don't know. You know? No. Well, kind of engines this piece of shit have. Come on, step on it. It's a Yugo. It's built for economy, not speed. Wow, what are you doing? I'm gonna get us another phone. Wait. Hey, who's the 21st president? Don't fuck yourself. That guy was pissed. I feel better when he looks in the back seat.
They dumped a Yugo for a Mercedes. I have no idea if this was an ad for Mercedes or for Yugo, but da. Ficha sia ficha, brate.
I just wish there was climate control buttons like I always do in a car.
I love how now I always get suggestions of the video we watched last time. For those of you who missed it, this is the... Let me go piss real quick. I'll leave you with the song. I'll be right back. Let me just piss real quick. You guys dance along. Mwah.
Stood strong, Yugoslavia, where all could belong, under the leadership of a visionary man, Joseph Tito, the leader of our land. Yugoslavia forever, our spirit never dies. In our hearts we hold the memory.
Yeah. Okay, we're back. That was 7 out of 10 piss. Color 9 out of 10. Smell 6 out of 10. Intensity of stream 10 out of 10. It was very, very good.
Or you have to go into the menus here and then sort of move this stuff around. This is all very tough.
No, you can't enjoy yourself on a Yugo Twitch stream. No great songs for you. We have to consume capitalist cancer.
Right. But you've got this storage space in the middle. You've got 2 wireless chargers that work great, 2 cup holders, and then storage in the center here. And that actually goes down even further. And then some pretty comfortable seats, I'd say. They're heated and ventilated. But I think what you really care about from the driver's seat is the steering. So one of the highs of the Cyber in the middle, you've got 2 wireless chargers that work great, 2 cup holders, and then storage in the center here. And that actually goes down even further. And then some pretty comfortable seats, I'd say. They're heated
look like shit.
and ventilated. But I think what you really care about from the driver's seat is the steering. So one of the highs of the Cybertruck is it has this incredible steering, which is enabled by basically 3 main things. A combination of the things. 1, steer by wire. 2, a variable steering ratio. And 3, rear wheel steering. Okay, so all of these things put together make this the most nimble feeling
any
truck,
car
especially at low speeds,
at that
I think
price
ever made.
point,
Okay?
even in
so
stock.
this is the steering wheel or squircle
Any
you're
car.
dealing with. It's kind of small, but it does have your blinker buttons that are physical buttons that actually click instead of just haptics. You've got your headlights there, a real horn, thankfully, and your autopilot button.
Oh my God, they gave us a real horn. Amazing. Remember when they didn't give us a real horn in a car?
And just does adaptive cruise control and your giant windshield wiper right there and voice controls. Okay, so we know what this looks like. First thing that's crazy about this is full lock. It's not this like hand over hand thing to get the truck to fully steer. That is turning all the way right, and that is turning all the way left. So this is the most one-handable driving vehicle probably ever of this size. And then the variable steering ratio, all that really means is at low speeds, it's turning the wheel. Steer by wire is this crazy thing. It sounds insane because the wheel is not physically connected to the actual wheels and tires. It's all just a computer and might as well be a video game controller. But what it's actually doing on top of all that is it's changing the amount that it's steering based on how fast you're going. So at low speeds, really, really quick and nimble, and at high speeds, it softens up a little bit and it's not quite so bad. You get used to it very quickly, and then like I said, the last
Yeah, you can get used to a Yugo, okay? But a Yugo doesn't cost 100 fucking K, you fucking schmuck.
Is the rear wheels turn more than any other vehicle that I've ever tried. 10 degrees right now in either direction.
Thank you, Bill Vog, for the sub. Welcome. Thank you very kindly. Where is the actual? Yeah, The speed, it tells you the speed on the big tablet on the right. It doesn't actually tell you the speed in front of you. Innovative designs. Da.
And so when you're turning around quickly in a small parking lot, it's incredibly impressive how quickly you can get into parking spots and turn in and out of things. And at highway speeds, it actually changes the rear wheel direction in the same way as the front wheels. So you're kind of gliding from lane to lane. Like I said, it all gets put together into this really nice package of very nimble, impressive handling. It's not a sports car by any means, but it's really nimble for a full-size truck. It's actually gotten to the point where I got so used to it. Like,
yeah, but the reason you would want a full-size truck is so you can carry a lot of things, okay? So that it's practical. This motherfucker doesn't even have a spot for the motherfucking tire, okay? Doesn't even have a spot for the motherfucking tire. The truck back goes like this. So effectively, you only have 1/3 of the actual truck space that you can fill with things that are, I don't know, higher than 150 centimeters. God fucking damn it.
Like this, that I recently drove an F-150 Lightning, and I felt like I was doing a whole bunch of extra movement to get the truck to do the same amount of turning, even though the F-150 Lightning is decently nimble.
Wait, this guy's a fucking, fucking muskhead. Car wow Cybertruck. Did he review it? I had to buy it while I'm buying my Cybertruck experience 3 months ago.
I'm at Tesla's Gigafactory.
I know he went, but does he have one where he actually talks about it? It's the only car reviewer I actually trust. Okay, no. Okay, whatever. Moving on to the next topic. I know this was not a very smooth fucking transition, but I do not care. I have given myself enough fucking cancer by watching even 10 minutes of this fucking shit. Do you understand me? So we learned that the door doesn't close. It doesn't wipe off rain from your windshield properly. It doesn't have an indicator for speed. You don't have an actual slot in a truck for a spare tire. You can't rotate your fucking wheel completely. I mean, your steering wheel completely. It basically doesn't have good air conditioning. It's just fucking horror. It looks on the outside, if you use it for more than 5 hours and actually touch it anywhere, it looks like you and your bros gooned on it. It's just a total absolute fucking shitfest. Yes, no speed indicator in front of you. It's on the tablet on your right. And they will sell this as like minimalism, etc. No, they just wanted to save money on an actual speed indicator, okay? God fucking damn it. For the same amount of money, okay? For the same amount of money, you can get a new BMW X5, like kitted out, completely kitted out, like totally kitted out. You can get this thing. Wait, what? You can get this for the same fucking money. Look at what it looks like inside, dude. Look at the inside. Look at this. Look at this. Fucking let me salute to the gods of capitalism right now. Thank you for giving me this. Holy fucking shit. Even though I do believe that in a socialist world we'll make 10 times better cars up until a point when we no longer need cars. Then we'll still have cars but only for sports. You know everything. All my opinions. Look at this fucking gorgeous fucking thing, dude. God fucking damn it, man. Massaging fucking seats. Fucking 380 horsepower. Fucking gorgeous, okay? Gorgeous. Oh shit. Oh my god, you can't see. Oh my god. God. Oh gee, that was cringe. Yes. So I'm talking about this car, fucking Butte, okay? For the same fucking amount of money. Absolutely fantastic. Look at the side, look at everything. This is the new revamp. It's fucking gorgeous, dude. Look at the fucking internal. Look at this fucking luxury, dude. Jesus fucking Christ. Gorgeous. For the same amount of money as a fucking Cybertruck. You literally need to be fucking, I don't know, slow, in my opinion. That is what 100K should be able to buy you. And again, I can't believe I'm fucking, like, supporting a corporation here, but objectively, there are worse and better ones, especially for 100K. You have 100K hard-earned money, God bless, get a good car. When I have 100K, I'll probably buy that, absolutely, without blinking. But no, some people go and give 100K to a fucking goon box. Whatever. Okay, what do we want to watch? Why McDonald's is better in Europe? The corporations have more rights than people, but it's a whole 1 hour. Like, Jesus Christ. 1 hour from some more news. Corporations have more rights than people. Or do we want to watch 10 horrifying new allegations against P. Diddy? Which one do you want? Tell me. So P. Diddy versus McDonald's versus corporations have more rights. What do you want to watch? P. Diddy, P. Diddy, P. Diddy, Burger, Diddy, P. Diddler, McDonald's, corporations. Who is P. Diddy, man? You are lucky. Jesus, Yanagibashi, you are lucky. P. Diddy, P. Diddy. Okay, we really want to watch P. Diddy. Okay, so this one I'm genuinely going into like completely blind. I know nothing about this. Nothing. Wait, currently there's a current? This one, okay. Jesus, I'm stupid. Okay, so I guess we're watching P. Diddy. I don't know if this is the best video to cover it in. This was the most watched. Diddy is Disgusting by Fantano. Let's start with Fantano, actually. Fantano's brilliant. Okay.
Hey, everyone, Anthony Fan.
Jesus, look at this handsome fucking bald man. God fucking damn it. Talk about being able to pull off a fucking bald head and such a fucking stash, man. And the glasses, and also still looking masculine as fuck. God, I'm not jealous. Me jealous? Who, me jealous? Oh, God, no. Oh, my God. Okay, so we're watching this. P. Diddy. Please adjust the title accordingly, my beautiful mods. Which, by the way, everybody in chat say thank you to the Pokemon. That is how we refer to the mods here, okay? Thank you from me, and thank you from chat. They're the best mods on this fucking platform. So, with that being said, in 30 seconds an ad will play. If you don't want to watch it, you know what to do. Let's get right into it.
Antano here, internet's busiest music nerd, coming on here to talk about a pretty massive story that could potentially lead to the downfall of one of the...
Why are all billionaires pedophiles? That is the conversation we are talking about now. Like, why are all billions pedophiles? Actually, next to P. Diddy, also write... Are all billionaires pedos? Like, that's it. Because my theory says, my experience says, yes and no, I have not been assaulted by a billionaire. Thank God.
The biggest moguls in music of all time. That would be Sean Combs, aka P. Diddy, FKA Puff Daddy. Recently came out with a Grammy-nominated record, the Love album. Given that the first...
Thank you very much, Shield, for the sub. Thank you kindly. Welcome, my beautiful child soldier.
Sales of that record were pretty dismal, and there wasn't really much of a demand among my audience to cover it. I think that it may be in order to remind you guys just how huge of...
From our perspective, by the way, Jay-Z and P. Diddy in particular are kind of the representatives of ultra-wealthy African Americans who push the black capitalism thing, okay? The black people in the States can uplift them by basically becoming oppressors. That's the whole fucking shtick they go for.
A figure P. Diddy is. As the founder of Bad Boy Records, this guy not only was responsible...
X-Chain Firex. They got addicted to power and want to find new exciting ways to gain and exercise more power. That is one of it, exactly. Or is it that only immoral dirtbags have the characteristics to become billionaires and they are more likely to treat other people like objects, including young people? That is there, exactly. Beautifully put. And thank you kindly to the legendary EcoWaves for another gifted sub. Man, so many people save from ads by the EcoWaves themselves.
Responsible for putting artists like Craig Mack and Biggie, as well as Mace, Faith Evans on the map, but he was a major part of mainstreaming hip-hop music throughout the 90s and the 2000s. The guy has been behind a lot of massive hits throughout...
And though, can you really not expect something fucking wild from a guy called P. Diddy? Like, sorry, but P. Diddy? He sounds like he's gonna diddle you. God, I'm sorry.
The hip-hop world over the course of his career made a lot of very big, very correct and essential calls in terms of putting on and popularizing particular artists. But then he took that success he saw in music and then leveraged it in a series of even more impressive business ventures in fashion, in alcohol, in video.
Crying is bad. I'm not poor. I'm just a temporarily embarrassed child trafficker. No, the joke would be better if, like, we applied capitalist mentality to even those who are the most disadvantaged in our society. I'm not a trafficked child. I'm just a temporarily embarrassed billionaire. Okay, even trafficked children can pull themselves up their bootstrings. Okay.
Production and media broadly through Revolt TV. When it comes to being a mogul in the music world, few people exemplify that label as well as Diddy has. Even if a lot of that cultural power and influence I was just talking about didn't carry over all that well into the 2010s and especially the 2020s. With that being said, though, Diddy has recently been put on the defensive through a series of recent allegations, the first and biggest of these recent ones being filed against him by former girlfriend Cassie Ventura. That whole thing ended up getting settled out of court. Similar allegations were made by other individuals, and those cases seem to have been treated much the same way. But this most recent court document filed in the state of New York against Diddy and a whole bunch of other defendants features dozens and dozens and dozens of pages of allegations that are absolutely off the wall, insane, and
Jesus fucking Christ, man.
I am not saying that to be hyperbolic or salacious or anything like that. Austin and I will link you guys to the court document down below so you can see it for yourselves. Now, it's quickly worth noting that this is obviously not the type of content we cover on this channel on a regular basis. Call me old school, but I just personally see things.
A brief look at Diddy's history of controversies and allegations. Okay, I will not sign up. Thank you, though. Do we have a list? CCNI tragedy, Jake Robles shooting, attacking Steve Stout, Club New York shooting, scuffle with J. Cole, allegedly punches Drake, fights UCLA coach, abuse, Casey files civil suit against Combs, Jane Doe sues for SA. Diddy faces third SA suit in 1 week. Third Jane Doe files lawsuit. Tiffany Red writes an open letter corroborating Casey's allegations. Hulu scraps family reality show. Combs settles. Of course, only innocent people settle. Sean Combs sued for SA. Authorities raid his house. I mean, if I was called Sean Combs, I will also call myself P. Diddy. Jesus Christ. Didn't expect to be caught for diddling, though.
Like articles and text-based journalism.
Hugo, I'm getting sick of these ads. Is there any way I can avoid them? Yeah, become a sub.
As a superior place to deal with and spread important information around sensitive topics like SA. However, these recent Diddy allegations reach so far beyond that and implicate numerous individuals that will honestly leave you scratching your head. And just the layers to the story told in these court documents, it's really on the level of a Cosby or a Weinstein or an R. Kelly type situation where there's lots of individuals who are aware of everything that's going on. And because Diddy is this very well-known, powerful figure with a lot of influence, a lot of power, a lot of money, everyone's just kind of...
Do you think there's a high concentration of incredibly wealthy people SAing folks? I mean, sexual assault happens everywhere, in every class and in every environment, but extremely powerful people get away with it at a much higher level. That's the whole thing with power structures, and quite literally, in this system, if you have enough money, you can do the most fucked up things imaginable and increase your likelihood of getting away with it. I mean, we're talking about the same planet and same era where we found out about Jeffrey Epstein, right? But I had the same conversation with Brace from TrueAnon, which everybody should check out, when he came over on the D program. And he was like, dude, there's so many fucking human trafficking organizations that get absolutely no attention, and they will not get any attention. The reason we got so concentrated on what happened with the guy that got suicided is that, you know, very, like, people in the high echelons of society went there, but not by high echelon, not only wealthy, but well-known, okay? and that allowed it. But there's so many wealthy but not well-known individuals that probably participate in this because they are either, as one brilliant chatter said, either, you know, you can become so wealthy only by being a fucking decrepit human being, so there's a higher chance you would also do that to younger people in particular, but also people in general. You know, it's even worse when it's younger people. Or, you know, you, because of how much money you have, you've experienced pretty much anything that exists, anything that can be experienced out there, anything money can buy. So you continuously look for the harder kink, the more fucked up thing, the more rare thing that you actually get to try. In the same way, you know, an ultra wealthy guy doesn't really care about, you know, a Ferrari. He wants like the one Ferrari that comes out every 3 years, but that's cars. Also, it applies to, unfortunately, sex life, even though we wouldn't call it a sex life. So the wealthier you are, the more access you have to these sorts of fucked up things, because the lower the chances are that you're going to get caught, but also the higher the chances are that you can afford to do this sort of stuff, quite literally financially, when we're talking about trafficked humans, in particular trafficked children. So I think, yeah, there is an absolute correlation to be made between billionaires and pedophiles. Very direct one. And thank you very much, Orin D6, for the sub. Welcome, my friend, to the Adless experience. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Bravo, Orin D.
Allowing it to happen, taking part, the documents themselves.
I love Orin D. He's such a sweetheart. Orin D6. They were like, how do I, like, Hugo, I'm getting annoyed from these ads. How do I, like, stop seeing them? And I'm like, dude, just sub. I talk about this every hour when the ad needs to play, sometimes every 30 minutes, because Twitch is fucking insane. And, like, nobody heard, like, oh my God.
Themselves literally liken Diddy to Epstein. It's like on that level of control and conspiracy and manipulation. And again, if you go through the details of these allegations, you will not only see proof in images, proof in video stills, but also bits of stories dealing in grooming, coercion, assault, blackmail, trafficking, illegal drug use, prostitution, stuff involving minors, putting drugs in drinks, presumably without people sort of knowing, violent threats, even illicit sexual acts involving a few names that were redacted, but once you actually kind of read the Cliff Note info on these individuals, it's kind of apparent who they are. In section 71 of the court document, there is a rapper whose name is redacted, but then shortly under that, it says he is a Philadelphia rapper who dated Nicki Minaj. Not sure we need to put two and two together on who that might in fact be. Also an R&B singer too, whose name is redacted, but it says he performed at the Super Bowl and had a successful Vegas residency. There are other...
Thank you very much, Comrade Banter Boss. That is sometimes what I refer to myself as, because I'm a boss at Banters and I'm also a comrade. No, thank you very kindly for the 5 gifted subs. Ain't nobody watching fucking ads up in this motherfucker. Yee! Oh, I shouldn't be doing yeehaws while we are talking about pedophiles, because that sounds like something a pedophile would say. Let's continue with P. Diddler.
Other figures whose names and likenesses are not redacted at all in these court documents, people like Cuba Gooding Jr., as well as one half of the City Girls, Young Miami, who's been public with Diddy for a while now. Obviously, it would be no surprise that she would be witness to or part of any of the debauchery that's being talked about in these documents. Getting ahead of myself, I would like to say that the allegations in these documents are being made by a music producer who worked with Diddy, specifically very closely during this Love album era, literally living with him for quite a time and contributing to a good handful of songs.
They were making an album called Love Era or whatever the fuck while they were doing those sorts of things to children. Damn.
On the Love album record. However, when you actually look at the details of the...
Yeah, after R. Kelly, I'm not shocked by this either, like, not at all.
these court documents, it's very clear that a majority of his time living under, Diddy's roof, he was not spending it working on the record. He was instead spending this time being treated like absolute trash and being coerced into doing a ton of things that are not only illegal, but he clearly did not want to do if, again, his side of the story here is 100%. I will tie this video up to say that the story being told here is one that doesn't feel all that unfamiliar these days in the music industry. It's an absolute power corrupts absolutely type situation for sure. Diddy is obviously far from the first person to take advantage of their power and money and influence in this way, and he will surely not be the last. Allegedly. But finally, not all of the details of these allegations need to stick in order for them to take down Diddy, because they're so huge and so far-reaching. Even only a fraction of them could be totally provable and true, and it would deeply and massively diminish his power and influence, not to mention the potential legal troubles to follow as a result of this, because the vast majority of everything being documented here is so incredibly illegal. Literally name an illegal thing and it's turning up somewhere in these pages. That is how bad it is. So again, the court documents, the allegations are linked down below for you guys to check out.
Dude got so fucking ridiculously, insanely wealthy, and he just fucking went off the fucking wall, obviously, with every single fetish that he could ever presume to have. But I want to hear actually, like, what the fuck this dude did, What the fuck did this dude do? Like, all the fucking shit. So this is 30 minutes, so let's play it at 125 and see what he this fucking, let's go down the disgusting rabbit hole and fucking cringe and wince and die slowly on the inside as we realize that those with the largest privileges in our society, the reason why imperialism exists, the reason why you don't have health care, and the reason why you're still paying off student debt is so that some rich motherfuckers can touch kids or other people that don't want them to touch them.
You're coming out live from London, extremely humble, grateful, and blessed.
We are breaking down all of the recent allegations against Sean P. Diddy Combs as he faces now several lawsuits, including a bombshell one dropped by a former producer accusing him of sexual assault and sex trafficking. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law &
Just the classic stuff, you wake up one morning and like your haters are like, dude, man, you just sexually assault people and traffic humans. That's just classic stuff that everybody gets blamed on. And, it's like punching a guy in a bar or scratching a car with keys because they parked on the wrong spot. It's like shouting a bit too loud at the guy who just overtook you on the highway. Just classic shit we do.
Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. So if you've been on social media recently or you've been perusing different news, these are going to be Diddy, real name Sean Combs, is of course a well-known music mogul, founder of Bad Boy Records, an influential producer, the founder of a clothing line, a singer, and actor. Now you might recall that we previously reported on a huge lawsuit filed against Combs by his ex-girlfriend Cassandra Ventura back on November 16, 2023. At the time, Ventura alleged that Combs physically and sexually abused her, including forcing her into sexual slavery and sex trafficking. And some of the more alarming allegations in that federal lawsuit included Combs allegedly raping Ventura in her home after she tried to leave him, savagely beating her, resulting in bruises and burst lips, forcing her to have sex with prostitutes on video while he watched and masturbated, forced her to carry a gun for him, and tried to chase down music producer Suge Knight with a gun. Even she accused him of blowing up rapper Kid Cudi's car because he found out that Cudi was interested in Ventura. Yeah, it was wild. We covered it here. And she sued him under New York's Adult Survivors Act. That was a law that gave survivors of sexual assault a 1-year window to file lawsuits if their claims were otherwise time barred under the statute of limitations. Now, Ventura had told CBS at the time, quote, "After years in silence and darkness, I am finally ready to tell my story and to speak up on behalf of myself and for the benefit of other women who face violence and abuse in their relationships." With the expiration of New York's Adult Survivors Act fast approaching, it became clear that this was an opportunity to speak up about the trauma I have experienced and that I will be recovering from for the rest of my life. Now, just one day after filing this lawsuit in New York federal court, Combs and Ventura agreed to a settlement. Now, as with most settlements, it was confidential. We do not know the terms. Ventura released a statement saying, quote, "I have decided to resolve this matter amicably on terms that I have some level of control. I want to thank my family, fans, and lawyers for their unwavering support." Combs released his own statement saying, quote, "We have decided to resolve this matter amicably. I wish Cassie and her family all the best. Love." Now, Ben Brafman, who is an attorney for Sean Combs, released a statement saying, quote, just so we're clear, a decision to settle a lawsuit, especially under Combs in a way, doesn't stay in the news. You don't go to trial. These details aren't revealed at a trial or even in pretrial discovery. This isn't like...
And again, like what we covered previously, when you have enough money, you can settle absolutely everything out of court. Because if you throw enough money at any problem, including something as fucked up as, you haven't been sexually assaulted, that other person starts balancing. Okay, what do? Do I push this so that this person goes to jail, or I somewhat improve my life by taking their money? It's for some people it's a moral question. For other people it's just a matter of practicality. I'm never going to sit here and judge someone who takes the cash and runs, as they say. But that's not the main, kind of thing that we need to get out of this. What we need to get out of this is, to repeat myself, if you have enough money, you can settle absolutely everything.
Johnny Depp, Amber Heard, where arguably one of the motivations for Johnny Depp to sue his ex-wife to take it to trial was to make sure all the evidence did come out, because he wanted to prove that he did not abuse her and he wanted to rehabilitate his image. This after Heard had alluded that she was a victim of domestic violence at his hands. This with Combs is very different. Definitely want to keep it quiet. But then what happens? Days after settling, Combs is hit with another lawsuit filed in New York. A woman named Joy Dickerson Neal claimed that Combs drugged and sexually assaulted her when she was in college back in 1991. She alleged Combs filmed the rape, shared the video with others as a form of revenge porn. Dickerson Neal claimed this severely affected her mental health and resulted in her leaving college. And like with Ventura, this lawsuit was filed pursuant to New York's Adult Survivors Act. But actually, this was filed in the Manhattan Supreme Court just one day before the window to sue closed. Diddy denied the allegations. In a statement from his spokesperson released to People, it said, quote, this last-minute lawsuit is an example of how a well-intentioned law can be turned on its head. Ms. Dickerson's 32-year-old story is made up and not credible. Mr. Combs never assaulted her, and she implicates companies that did not exist. This is purely a money grab and nothing more. As far as we see, that lawsuit is still pending. But there is something to think about. Could these allegations be true? Yes, absolutely. Could the allegations against Ventura be true? Yes, absolutely. However, one of the reasons that we see celebrities and high-profile people decide to fight these cases and not settle is because they are concerned about the floodgates argument, right? If you settle with one person, you're going to have to settle with all of them. Now, we haven't seen a settlement in this case, but remember that this lawsuit came out after the Ventura settlement. Doesn't take away from the legitimacy of the claims, but just something to think about. But then what happens next, right? A third lawsuit comes out in New York. This time, an unidentified woman claims that Combs and singer-songwriter Aaron Hall raped her 30 years ago. Combs' spokesperson released another statement after this one, saying these are fabricated claims, falsely alleging misconduct from over 30 years ago and filed at the last minute. This is nothing but a money grab. Because of Mr. Combs' fame and success, he is an easy target for anonymous accusers who lie without conscience.
That is what they always use to throw back at people. It's classic.
Or consequence for financial benefit. Goes on to state, quote, the New York legislature surely did not intend or expect the Adult Survivors Act to be exploited by scammers. The public should be skeptical and not rush to accept these bogus allegations. But then you fast forward to December 2023. Another lawsuit comes out. Another unidentified woman has accused Combs, former Bad Boy Entertainment president Harvey Pierre, and another person of sex trafficking and gang raping her when she was just 17 years old. She said that she was flown from Michigan to New York City, supplied with drugs and alcohol, and then assaulted at Combs' recording studio. The same day of this lawsuit, Combs issued a statement on Instagram saying, quote, enough is enough. For the last couple of weeks, I have sat silently and watched people try to assassinate my character, destroy my reputation and my legacy. Sickening allegations have been made against me by individuals looking for a quick payday. Let me be absolutely clear. I did not do any of the awful things
poor
being
him.
alleged. I will fight for my name, my family, and for the truth. By the way, a little side note about these lawsuits. They may be able to be legally brought, right? But they can still be difficult to prove. When you're talking about the age of these claims, witnesses' memories fade. Evidence gets stale. It's not impossible to prove the case, but it can be difficult. And I say that because, remember, you can have a witness and a victim testify or survivor testify. That could be sufficient. His cell phone and began recording his poems. Mr. Jones witnessed, experienced, and endured many things that went far beyond his role as a producer on the Love album. Mr. Combs required Mr. Jones to record him constantly. On several occasions, Mr. Combs took Mr. Jones's cell phone and began recording himself. As a result, Mr. Jones has secured hundreds of hours of footage and audio recordings of Mr. Combs, his staff, and his guests engaging in serious illegal activity. Now, Jones says that those videos show drugs like ecstasy and cocaine, the displaying of unregistered firearms. Combs spiking drinks for minors and sex workers, Combs' son Christian drugging and sexually assaulting a woman, and even a famous actor sexually harassing and assaulting Jones. Now, Jones alleged numerous events in these papers. For example, Jones, who identifies
Jesus
as a
Christ,
heterosexual...
like, oh my God, I don't know how to add to this. I'm not exactly a fucking essay commentator up in here, but holy fucking shit. Like, okay, this is, we're talking, we are genuinely talking about Ireland Man, so I don't mention his decrepit fucking name level of degeneracy here. God damn, man. He made his fucking son participate too. Jesus Christ.
Christian man claims that Combs repeatedly and intentionally groped his private parts without his consent. That this happened in L.A., New York, Florida.
Dude, like, he's just into SAing, like men, women, underage. He's just fucking going after everybody.
Virgin Islands, and that Combs also continually forced Jones to be in his presence while he was naked and showered. So with that, Jones is suing Combs for a claim of sexual assault and harassment. Jones says that this resulted in severe emotional distress and anxiety. And as we go through some of these claims, keep in mind what he alleged that he suffered as a result of Combs' action. This is the injury or harm element that you need for the purposes of damages. What happened to you? What did you suffer? Meaning, what could Jones recover? Let's keep that in mind. But Jones claims that Combs attempted to groom him into homosexual sex. And one of the ways that Jones says Combs tried to do that was by using producer Stephen Aaron Jordan, who Jones apparently looked up to. Combs allegedly showed Jones a video of Jordan engaging in a sex act with another man as a way to, quote, ease his anxiety concerning homosexuality. And included in this complaint are alleged screenshots of that purported video. By the way, Jones alleges that Combs has hidden cameras in every room of his various homes and that he has secret recordings of celebrities and associates, this compromising footage of every person that has attended his parties, which, by the way, from a legal point of view, would be a violation of civil privacy laws and criminal privacy laws, perhaps even implicate revenge porn type statutes. Anyway, continuing on with this alleged grooming campaign, Combs even allegedly admitted that he had engaged in sexual intercourse with, quote, an unidentified Philadelphia rapper who dated Nicki Minaj, as well as, quote, an R&B singer who performed at the Super Bowl. Now, there are those who have speculated online that that Philly rapper is Meek Mill, and the R&B singer who performed at the Super Bowl could be Usher. On Twitter, X, Meek Mill posted on his account, quote, one love to the gay people, but then talked about in graphic detail how he much prefers or loves a certain part of the female anatomy. He wrote, quote, every black blog site.
One love to the gay people. What is that sentence?
One love to the gay people. Yeah. One love to the gay people.
What the... Sorry, just that sentence put me off. What is that sentence? I'm tired of this.
I enhance that post to make me seem gay. I change laws for our people. I donate millions. They are designed to destroy the image of black leaders. It can't work with me, though. You got to really kill me, and I still will get bigger after death. This God, not me. LOL. Now, one of the people to jump into the mix online was actually social media influencer former kickboxer Andrew Tate.
Romanian king.
We covered Tate's legal troubles in Romania before here on Sidebar, as he's facing charges of rape, sex trafficking, and sexual exploitation. But Tate
real recognize real.
Twitter,
SA recognize
so
SA.
He was having sex with Meek Mill and Usher? Meek Mill responded, was you sex trafficking women? TF wrong with you, Brody. Tate responded, I only asked a question because everyone is saying it happened. It's true or not. As for Usher, as far as we could see, he didn't respond to any of the assertions in this lawsuit. And you could
I love how people are reacting much more intensively about potentially them having sex with men than with all the other fucking shit. Like, that's what got the most fucking flack online before these current arrests and so on.
Argue, why should he, as he's not directly mentioned by name or implicated. But something that has created a bit of buzz online is an interview that Usher did years back on the Howard Stern show.
Didn't deny
he
it,
talked
yeah.
about living with Sean Combs as a teenager as part of P. Diddy's, it's called Puffy's Flavor Camp. He said, quote, I got a chance to see some things. I went there to see the lifestyle, and I saw it. It was pretty wild. It was crazy. They called me Baby Boo. He went on to say he wasn't disciplinary. He was letting me be a young man. And, quote, I will always look at him like a brother. But when he was asked if he would send his children to the camp, he responded, quote, hell no. Quick note, by the way, another high-profile celebrity jumped into the mix as well with all of this Diddy controversy going on, and that's comedian Cat Williams. You might have heard about this, because in an interview with Vlad TV recently, he said he had attended one of Diddy's parties where he found out it was just men there, and he claimed that Diddy had tried to stop him from leaving, making strange, suggestive comments, even threatening and harassing him at one point. Williams had gone on to say, quote, "I am not gay, and I am not going to sleep with you." Okay, but moving forward in the lawsuit, Jones claims that on Thanksgiving Day 2022, Combs offered Jones cocaine, and then rapper Young Miami, her female cousin or assistant, identified as Jane Doe.
Somebody send me this.
What? You sound like
Diddy responds to 50 Cent calling him gay.
when you do it like that, Daddy, when you scrambling and scraping for shit.
Hey, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't play games. Y'all know. You know what I'm saying? I'm a grown man. I don't play games. I don't even think of no other man. Besides, if I'm thinking about another man, I'm thinking about uplifting. I'm not thinking about all that. All them nets, you know, they can't really touch me. Y'all, at the end of the day, y'all see and y'all know what it is. You know,
But I will uplift you by telling you I will give you $10,000 if you let me do unseeming things to your body.
track record. Y'all know the business acumen. Y'all know the community service.
The community service, the business acumen, black capitalism almost makes me vomit as much as, oh, God.
Y'all know what I'm about. You know,
uplifting my dick into that pussy.
Oh.
I think we can all agree that Puff Daddy is 50 Cent's favorite target.
When you really break it down, you've been out here a long time. You know he loves me. I don't think he like it.
If something bad is happening in Puffy's life, then 50 is always right then.
50 is the funniest guy on the internet, I swear to God. Have you seen 50's fucking Instagram account? He just has nothing to lose at this point. He's so fucking insanely successful that he just sits there and like calls people out. He's like a fucking, I don't know. Wait, there has to be some clips. I want clips. I don't want to watch this whole fucking thing. I'm not invested enough. No, it's just gonna be a fucking LARP.
One tried to sexually assault Jones, including in front of Combs. And Jones, in fact, again, attached screenshots from a video of Combs, Jones, Young Miami, and Jane Doe 1 on that day. Now, this makes up the fourth listed cause of action in the lawsuit. He is suing Jane Doe 1 for sexual assault. Jones says that her actions were willful and malicious and frightened him. He's also suing her for both negligent and intentional infliction of emotional distress. By the way, he also ends up suing Combs for negligent and intentional infliction of emotional distress for a lot of this behavior that he says is extreme and outrageous. But speaking of which, Jones is also suing Combs too for this same alleged assault by Jane Doe 1 under a premises liability theory. Basically, Jones is arguing that Combs is responsible because this alleged assault happened on Combs' property. He saw this happen, that he had a duty as the owner of the property to protect Jones from harm. That's actually a common theme we see in personal injury cases. If something happens to your guests on your property, your business, your home, you could be legally responsible.
Oh God, 50 Cent just fucking goes off. Oh, I found this. See, this is why. What? See, this is why I don't go to no party Puffy and them at. The fuck is going on here? Get the fuck off my young ninjas. What the fuck? Get off the young people. Or do you just post something like this? I ain't saying nothing but something ain't right. 50 Cent says he wouldn't go to a Puff Daddy party because he might end up getting hugs from the front and the back. Oh, God. God, 50 Cent, dude. Casey settles lawsuit accusing P. Diddy of SA and rape. He paid that money real quick. Should have done that before the sharks saw the blood in the water. And here they come, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Every woman he put his hand on, as they should.
Responsible.
Funniest reactionary 50 Cent, man.
Then there is the Cuba Gooding Jr. incident. Oh, yeah. Jones claims he believes Combs was grooming Jones to pass him off to his friends. And he claims that one day on Combs' yacht, Combs suggested that the actor, quote, get to know Jones, left them alone, and then Cuba Gooding Jr. allegedly touched, groped, and fondled Mr. Jones. Jones had to allegedly push him away. Again, there are screenshots of not only Combs and Gooding Jr. together allegedly on that yacht, but also Gooding Jr. and Jones, where you can see his arm around the producer and sitting right next to him. Jones appears to be smiling. One of the causes of action is against Combs, again, for premises liability, because Jones claims Gooding Jr. sexually assaulted and harassed him on Combs' yacht. In the lawsuit, Jones brings up another event. This is a shooting that happened at Chalice Recording Studios in L.A., where after a heated fight between Combs, his son Justin, and Justin's friend identified as G, gunshots rang out. G was lying on the ground with blood coming out of his hip, leg area. Jones claims that Combs allegedly told his team to tell police that he had nothing to do with this. And then Jones, in the lawsuit, provided screenshots of the bloodstained bathroom where he claims G was shot by either Combs or his son. And he claims he still has the clothing that you could test for DNA. Now, one of the claims or causes of action in this lawsuit is against Combs and his son Justin under California's bystander negligent infliction of...
Okay, so P. Diddy is a pedophile, sex assaulter, and so on. Still has not been fully proven, but come on, look me in the eyes. Jesus fucking Christ, okay? 50 Cent reads them early, okay? I don't want to cover this anymore. I just wanted to watch this video with you. And then I'm going to be out. Helldivers 2X.
Ja, dat vindt ze, buddy. Buddy willen het.
The giant enemy spider.
If you're wondering what I will be doing right after the stream ends in exactly 2-3 minutes, this is it.
You're just fucking us up. Your motor centric thinking now, stop using it. No. Dude, the second bro, stop.
Thank you very much for everybody who joined us on this beautiful, beautiful evening / afternoon / morning. Thank you to all the wonderful subscribers and for your patience while covering all these disgusting topics.
Can't make it, the shit's stuck. Yes, genuine dick sucker.
If the Deprogram Podcast crew play Helldivers, which one will they carry? Me, dude. I will not carry. I will just like play by myself, okay?
So I see a lot of people complaining about this mission, but it's actually very easy.
Is this from 2 weeks ago? Yeah, this looks old, man. I expected a danker, nicer meme, but oh well. Yes, I said, send me all your dank memes, just like my boy Elon says. So, what I want you to do right now, I want you to go to Instagram.com/YouGopnik and give me a little follow over there in stories. I will remind you every time you want to come. Thank you, EcoWaves. It has been a great stream. I've truly, truly, truly enjoyed myself. That is the number one thing I want you to do. The number two thing I want you to do is always check the schedule about when my next stream is coming. And the number three thing I want you beautiful, beautiful souls who have not clicked follow to click that fucking button right now, or I will find you and I will diddle you. Okay, I will not. Jesus, that went too far. What the fuck? Okay. Just a reminder, I will not diddle anybody. Fuck, why did I say that? Number three is check out the Discord. The Discord is just write exclamation point Discord and you will be able to find it. Thank you very kindly for joining on this beautiful, beautiful evening with me, myself, and I. I will most likely see you on Sunday and maybe for a surprise stream tomorrow. You never know, now do you? And with that being said, thank you for tuning in and see you next time. Thank you to all my mods without whom this would not be possible. Have a great rest of the day. Enjoy your time off when the weekend hits and see you on Sunday. Bye, bye, bye. Ciao.